happened again.
Yeah, it's pretty random. We should be live.
Sick.
There we go. Buttons. Okay, I've just got a few more things to do. But hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, welcome to the podcast. Hi, chat. How you doing? What's up? Happy Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Time has lost all meaning.
Yeah.
Like the only meaning time has for me right now is my doctor's office open? That is the only thing that matters.
There's screen limitations during the weekdays, so
Oh,
so it's easy to tell what day of the week it is.
You're dead. You're dead.
I laid in bed yesterday, just being Megatron, being hit by Connects. Because, you know, they were like, oh shit, dad's sedentary. He's never sedentary. He can play action figures with us. So that was my day. Just laid in bed with him.
Sedentary? Is that like a tsundere?
No. Like, you know, your sedentary lifestyle. You're sitting down all the time.
Sedentary.
Oh, I always heard sedentary, or at least I read sedentary. It works for me. I knew its
I like
meaning.
sedentary. That makes it sound like it's a type of anime archetype.
Sounds like more of a noun in that regard. All right, so let's. I'm just making posts and getting everybody updated.
Oh yeah, sick. Pun very much intended. There has been so much shit since the last time we did one of these. I'm trying to think of a time where we've missed this much news.
Probably when we were in the middle of Endwalker and there was all the news happening around things we didn't get to know about. In that regard, like, yeah, that's probably like statistically the most we've missed.
I feel a kinship with Preach, who's going back and playing a bunch of shit he missed, you know, when he was, as he's coming up for air from all WoW all the time. You know, I feel that. I feel like I understand as much as you can understand of the mind of a man like Preach. I feel like I understand him. You know,
it's a busy business we find ourselves in. All right,
are we just launching into it, or are we what are we doing?
I've got I got the posts made. I'm just taking some screenshots for our messages I'm gonna be sending about all the crashes. So that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Ah, cool. Oh, you are already having some crashes?
No, not a crash, just a warning.
Oh yeah, this thing's driving me nuts, man.
Yeah, so we'll get it figured out. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it feels like it's improving, which is good.
Yeah, and there's a number of other things.
For the last month, that this YouTube shit has been awful.
Yeah. I mean, they're clearly working on some things, like the thumbnails replace instantly now, which is good. You know, they're continuing to improve, but it also means
they're clearly working on it. Yeah, but it's just not getting to the level of fix that I want as quickly as I would like.
And the no longer causes no trailers to play, so we got that fixed too.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, God. That was weird. That was a weird one.
You know, the next time we meet, which we were supposed to meet yesterday with our YouTube rep, but we were both very ill. But next time we meet, the big suggestion I have is like, hey, stream trailers are cool. Thank you for letting us do it. Can you make it its own tab? It's driving me nuts how many damn trailers are on our video tab. Because I want to go.
Yeah.
And I want to see analytics for the videos. And I know it's been a little bit since we made a video. Because we're back in Savage Town, which tends to eat into our video time. But it's just Savage trailer before I see any videos or any video analytics. And oh, God, it triggers my OCD in a massively unfun way.
I think if you just do a unlisted tab, that'd be great, because then you could have the copies that we make for unlisted versions, like when we did the mailbag, where in posterity it's saved for members, but for, you know, being like, hey, if you gave us mail in the PO box, we want to make sure you get this link.
Oh yeah. That is specific for us, but I'm sure there's plenty of channels.
There's probably plenty of people who experience that desire. Okay, well, I am good to go.
Muting as I cough. I am muting as I cough. All right. In that case, let me just make a little break here. And yeah, hello welcome back. First time listening. I don't know. How do we intro these things? I think it's been cold open for like a year now.
Yeah. You just
I
kind
don't know,
of
man.
lead into things.
Hey, this voice, it might sound a little different. Might sound a little odd compared to what you may be used to. This is the voice of Garrett. I was going to say famously from Grinding Gear, which is very untrue.
Well, you're not from yet.
Specifically famous, as my wife likes to describe what I do for a living.
There you go.
Yeah. I got my smooth jazz voice going. All right, from Green Tea Lover. Let me tell you how much I identify with that username right now. Oh my God, Kyle. Okay, yeah. It's the Sick Podcast, everybody. Kyle and I are both sick. We have barely done any content this week, which I'm trying to think of the last time we were this off the air. Like I'm struggling.
I mean, probably back when it was like one podcast a week, you know, there's time apart. I would be streaming by myself, but in terms of just like being offline.
Nexus days. Yeah.
I mean, we streamed Hardcore WoW. We had our final Hardcore Encore on Wednesday with Joe Cat, Cedar Briar.
That's a great name.
And Girl DM. So it was just a day. It was just, we were offline Thursday, which is like, is dramatic. We have been online Thursday every single week, hell or high water, for a long time. And it just wasn't gonna happen. It's interesting, right? Because like
it felt wrong.
Well, it's dude, it's what you tell the kids. Are you well enough to play a video game? No. Oh my goodness, you're sick. That's how it goes. If you are ill and you can't play a video game, you know you're righteously sick. And that's what happened.
Yeah, and I had probably it's nuts. So to catch folks up, for those that are listening and invested and give a crap, we traveled last week. So this time last week we were still in the great state of Wyoming,
the windy plains.
Which something about Wyoming, I don't know. I feel bad for Wyoming.
Why?
We've gone twice this year now.
Yeah,
we've gone twice this year.
What's wrong with that?
And every time we're like, oh, we're heading down to Wyoming next week, folks, but don't worry, we'll still be streaming. I always get I get more than 10 messages of like, why Wyoming? Like, why?
Oh, why even? Yeah, well, you know, the population's pretty low, so it's a decent question.
It is, yeah, it is extremely low population state. And when you get there, like, it makes sense.
So the chances you would be there are low in the first place.
Yeah. But I don't know. Earlier this year, we were asked to go out to the University of Wyoming, which is in the city of Laramie, which is a short, tiny plane ride from the city of Denver. And we said, we went out to the College of Business. They were doing a speaker series and having folks that own businesses come out and talk about their businesses and how they became business owners. And I have a sneaking suspicion that we were the weird ones.
Oh, yeah.
Bring these two in. They're non-traditional.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it turns out one of the professors out there likes our stuff. And and so while we were out there doing the speaker series earlier this year, met a bunch of people and
press the flesh.
Yeah, I've been doing this for years. I've been out to colleges and stuff for various reasons, to give talks or to work as a contractor for hire to do stuff like videography, help them with their content creation type of stuff. I've been doing this since, I think 2016 was the first time I ever took a contract for college work, for work with a university or a college. It has saved me many times. This line of work, there are ups and downs in content creation in terms of making everything line up, pay your bills, all that kind of stuff. And when things are down, it's nice to have anything else to fall back on. So that's just kind of how I've been living my life for, what is it? It's 2025, Kyle. I'm coming up on 10 years of full time working for myself through content creation and contract work. I can't freaking believe this. Next year's gonna be a big, holy shit, I feel old moment for me. So anyway, when we were out there for the talk, met some people, talked to various heads of different schools and stuff out there, and yeah, a couple folks were like, "Hey, we've got events happening in May. Are you available to come out and do some videography? Because we would like content of these events that happen every year." And this is a service I've done a few times. Like, it's like, go get B-roll, basically. Like, it's honestly not horribly dissimilar from working a wedding. It's like, here's a live event. We want you boots on the ground with cameras. Get coverage of the live event. Get our speakers on stage. And then in the case of one of the events that we attended, it was a pitch competition, and they also wanted us to go and interview the winning team. They wanted this on archive, and I think mostly they're going to use it next year to promote the thing, but we're also working on like a wrap-up video for them. So yeah, that's what we were out there doing. And also the university is nice enough to let us use their Wi-Fi and stream while we're there. So we kept streaming. We did a Monster Hunter stream while we were there. We did a Satisfactory stream while we were there. We were not going to risk attempting to Savage Raid in Final Fantasy XIV on foreign mouse and keyboards. That is not something we were going to do.
Yeah, sounds right. Sounds responsible.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, all they have is Wi-Fi. It's very good Wi-Fi.
It is very good Wi-Fi. Yeah, they got technology in Wyoming.
We've done 3 streams now across 2 visits this year with no issue. So I think if and when we ever end up there again, I think we could just bring our mouse and keyboards and we could probably raid.
Probably.
I think we could do it.
Yeah, should that happen again for the fine folks of Wyoming?
Yeah. Yeah. So that was fun until it wasn't. We're both very sick.
Yes.
We are the sickest that we have been. I think you've had COVID, right? I had COVID. So I think this is a fair statement to say this is the sickest we've been since either of us had COVID.
Yeah, but it's not the worst. The worst since COVID, because that was 3 days after I got home from the hospital with the second born. That was nuts. That was just, oh my God. That was an experience. And the door, I tried to self-isolate, and 6 hours later, a 3-year-old was put in the room with me. That was insane. The most insane since then was when both Kristen and I got sick at the exact same time, and we took 2-hour shift naps. So she'd be up for 2 hours with 3 children. I'd be up for 2 hours with 3 children, and we'd just vary the day. So luckily, this has about a 2-day delay on it. You got sick first. I sat next to you on the plane. Then I got sick 2 days later. So Kristen's probably going to start up tomorrow, and down the chain it goes. So at least it's sanely staggered.
Man. I tried, man. I was not feeling good. I wore a mask that whole flight. It was not comfortable to wear a mask that whole flight. I felt I just wanted to breathe, man.
Yeah.
I did my best.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you trying, but yeah, eventually it comes for us all. So yeah, we are out. We are down. Maybe down, but not out. Here we are doing a podcast. There's lots to talk about today. And it just might be a little Dayquil fueled is all that's going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't freaking believe it, man. I thought I had COVID again. I had like it was like full on aches, chills, headache.
Oh, the aches were insane.
I couldn't believe the aches. I haven't had aches like this since COVID. Like I don't usually really like I usually get sick once or twice a year. The only time I've had the aches as an adult was COVID, and so I was like really freaking out. Like whatever, I've been through it once. I know I'll survive, but it's not fun. I tested negative. Went and saw my doctor, which is novel. Actually getting in to see your primary care physician when you're sick. That doesn't happen much anymore. God, dude, he shined a light in my throat. He just goes, "Wow, that looks like it hurts." Like, yeah.
Yeah, yours comboed with the pollen. To get real particular, you had a sinus infection, and I have not hit sinus infection. I'm just sick.
Yeah, I don't like it. I was surprised that was the diagnosis because I thought I was getting bronchitis, which has happened before, and I kind of know what it feels like when it's coming on. And he's like, "Yeah, you just got a really gnarly sinus infection." So I slept great. I'm not sleeping great now because the meds are working and everything is evacuating my face at 3 a.m. It's not a good time.
It may have been, the moment I had fallen asleep next to you with my mouth open because we tarmacked for a good half an hour, so there was no incline to take advantage of, maybe breathing next to you, sneezed in my mouth, something like that while I was sleeping. I get you.
Sneezed in your mouth
it was probably honestly the moment I tapped you on the shoulder and you pulled down your mask to me because I was like, "Hey, is that a boobie?" And someone's kawaii neck pillow was stuffed in an overhead bin in such a way that the bear's ear looked like a nipple. And I kid you not, like, we were convinced for a good 10 minutes that someone had packed a really nice pair of fake breasts onto the plane.
Do you think? I don't think you can show the picture.
No, I probably can't show the picture. No, we got our emote taken down.
We can share it with Discord.
Of your yeah. We had an emote that was Tuna's bare buttocks, and that got taken down.
Oh, that's right.
However,
it was a cartoon butt.
Val's cartoon butt was not flagged because it was a fantasy elf butt. You know, it wasn't human.
I thought it was, they were saying the emoji review team is a little racist.
No, it did. Well, yeah, it just didn't pass whatever
Dust
automated censors.
Dust white and bare butts, absolutely
it's
allowed.
not even a real butt is the problem. Yeah,
plain white boy butts, not allowed.
They was shapely, but dusk white butt, it ain't got no shape, so they didn't even know what was going on. So it was probably that particular moment where we conversed about the nipple that caused the exchange of fluids.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Chad appears to still be confused. So, we're about to get off the plane to go home, and so we fly very cheap. We're at the back of the plane. All of the bins have been opened up by the people who stand up and wait another 20 minutes, but are now standing to get off the plane. And so you can see like odds and ends kind of hanging out of the open bins. And Kyle, I was asleep, and Kyle poked me, and I'm like, huh? And he just goes, someone brought a boobie. And I lean over, and it literally, like, for the audio program listeners, it legitimately just looked like the side profile of a anatomically correct breast. I'm like, did someone bring like a prosthetic? Like, is it a gag costume? Like, why? Because like I couldn't describe it as looking like anything else. And if you're on the Grinding Gear Discord, we'll share it with you later.
But I'm doing it right now.
It was an airplane pillow, and it had a little bear head at the top of it that kind of lumped out, and it had two tiny little kawaii bear ears on it. But if you saw it in side profile, it looked like a drooping breast with a nipple. Like, there's just no other way to put it.
Yeah.
And I laughed so hard that people around us were staring.
It's in the GG podcast channel on the Discord right now.
Yeah, it was I think it was the funniest thing that's happened to me all year. You are a criminal. Like, you can't keep getting away with it. I really people are like, what's it like to work with Kyle? And like, I truly mean it when I say he's the funniest motherfucker on the planet Earth. It's so hard to get work done. You are just incapable of being a serious person sometimes.
I'm a goofy goober, ultimately, at the end of the day. I am a goofy goober, and all will suffer my wrath. Oh, but in addition to that,
you posted it in the Discord.
I did. Yeah, it's posted in the Discord. Everyone's in agreement. It's absolutely a boob. It was incredible.
Live chat now knows. What channel did you put it in?
GG Discord. So, or just it's GG podcast. So it's in the GG podcast under the show tab. So anyone within the sound of our voice can now go take a look at that kawaii pillow.
Yeah,
with the little bear ear.
The problem is we didn't get a picture of it where you can see what the pillow actually is supposed to look like.
I mean, you can imagine, right? Like, that's just one of the ears. And on the other side, there's another ear. And then there's a flat little, like crying bear kind of.
Yeah.
But it was even kind of like flash colored. It was kind of,
it was extremely flash colored.
Yeah.
Not even close. Like, there's no kind of.
It is what it is. But also, in addition to our many, many travels, we also got to hang out every single night. It was delightful, bromance full on. We went to a lovely little bar every single night and just hammered out a ton of work that we're really, really excited to share with you guys coming up. In addition to that, huge news on the Patreon front. You may have noticed over the last few weeks, we've been kind of like, hey, support our bromance.com. And kind of left it at that. And there hasn't been a ton of talk about what's going on over there. You may remember a year and a half ago, there was a update Patreon post of basically saying, hey, Apple is doing some things. Apple is charging outrageous amounts to people using the
with
app.
our livelihood. is a
yes.
fair assessment.
Using the app, if you on Apple signed up for Patreon, every time we make a weekly post, Apple gets a cut of that, as well as allowing you to do a full refund after 60 days. So if you're familiar with how a subscription service works, imagine you run one of these yourself, and at any point over a 60-day period, someone could go, you know what, I actually take all my money back. It was super messy, and Patreon was needing to pass on that trouble to us, saying basically you post weekly, you now have to post once a month. So we were looking at an absolutely huge restructure of what we were doing in November. So all these plans that we've had over the last year have had to mix, link, somehow participate in not only being like, hey, here's our great new idea of shows we want to bring you and new content we have planned, but we also need you to go over to Patreon and update your $1 to $4. Because if you enjoy the show, $1 a show, that's awesome. Telling people you now have to pay $4 a month, it makes you do math. It makes you go, well, maybe maybe it's not actually worth my $4, or yeah, this is actually a good time for me to cancel. It was good. It was absolutely a huge pile of stress. It has been insanely stressful here at Grinding Gear for a while because everything we do was tied to this. Can we then cook it into an exciting enough update where everyone has to go change everything they do over there? It was absolutely exhausting, and has been for the last year.
We were very worried about it. We know y'all would have come through for us. You've done it time and time again, but it was a lot of work that quite simply didn't need to happen.
Didn't need to happen, and didn't need this artificial date of November, because anything we wanted to plan for the summer, for instance, was better held towards November. So what happened in that regard is Epic won their lawsuit against Apple, being that anytime Epic would sell anything, Apple would take a cut. So
Rise
now
of Skywalker GIF goes here.
Yep. So Patreon now doesn't have to go through with that update because Apple lost this lawsuit. And it's a huge weight off our shoulders. It also means we get to accelerate something we're really excited to share with you all. We no longer have to wait all the way to November to do a big update. We've been really stoked for, working a ton in the background. You may have noticed that there's not as many videos around the channel right now. That podcasts have been kind of, well, every other week or so. We have explored, deleted, tried out, experimented, and other such words dramatically over the last 2 months with what we're bringing you. And now it doesn't have to be tied to November. I am so excited about that. I am so excited for June to tell you all about this. Might be slightly delayed in June because I got jury duty again. We'll see what happens with that.
Oh my God. Do you want to keep it in personal town for a minute?
Yeah, a few minutes? Sure. Go for it.
Because at the end of the notes, I put a note about everything that all the shit that went down with Polygon and Giant Bomb. But I realize I will probably be leading this conversation, but like Giant Bombcast and it's splintering into things like Nextlander have been, other than things that Scott Johnson made, the podcast I've listened to the longest amount of time. And so I'm very invested in the fact that due to yet more corporate overreach, it appears Giant Bomb is like dead for good this time. And it makes me sad, but it also makes me celebrate the resilience of everyone who has gone through that meat grinder that appears to be the website and podcast known as Giant Bomb. I have been steeped because I've just been sick, man. The only thing I've been doing this week is like listening to anyone who's ever been a part of that website talking about the fallout after last week. I guess to catch people up very quickly, Polygon and Giant Bomb were sold on the same day, and it's still murky, but most of the staff of both of those websites were either fired or left in protest, like within hours of each other. And it's insane. Like it's absolutely wild. And yeah, so I've just been I listened to most of the recent episode of Nextlander, which is the most of the previous Giant Bomb crew. When they left, they went and started Nextlander. Jeff Gershman, who was one of the founders, now does his own solo thing. He's like I would say the one major exception. He's not on Nextlander, but the most recent Nextlander episode is incredible because they talk a ton about stuff that they did not talk about when they left Giant Bomb. But I've just been steeped in this, man, and but also, sick and extremely medicated. So, just spiraling with wild thoughts, like realizing I came really close to applying to work at Giant Bomb a few years ago. Went into the Nexus and Angry Chicken, were dive bombing into a hole that made it feel like I was going to lose my house. And it has led to a long conversation between me and Katie the other night, where I was just like, man, everything I've ever wanted to do, if I actually got to do it, I'd probably be in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. There's a freedom to working for yourself and all the wiggle room you get there, as well as the lack of security. But then again, what's the security for, right? Like my mom worked corporate her entire life growing up, and things could change in a day, and certainly saw her get pushed around in what was considered to be the safer job choice. So that certainly informed me. I had my own sick dreams, mostly about ordering the wrong cables. Sick dreams. They're almost on like a beat. They're so insane. Batman's there for no freaking reason, and I was waking up in cold sweats that I had ordered the wrong kind of cables for the various work we're doing upcoming. Just, oh my God. It's so insane.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, because we've been, we've been working so much on what's next for the channel, and some of our next larger overarching streaming plans. And that stuff's like always scary because you're always like, hey, are the people gonna dig this? I hope they dig it. Please dig it. And like, I don't know, we get real. Like, we're totally fine, but like, the numbers aren't where they were a year ago. And when you leave an exit survey on Patreon, I read those because I want to know if we're doing something wrong. And we probably had the most cancellations at the beginning of this month that we've had in a really long time. Like a really, really, really long time. And we got a bunch of exit surveys, which is rare. Like a lot of folks leave and they don't say why. And I read every single one of them this week, and every single one of them was like, lost my job, or economy sucks, yo. And so I've been in that headspace a lot this week of just like, another conversation I had with Katie was like, man, is this what it feels like? Like, you remember when your parents were really worried about something called a recession and you didn't really quite understand it? And you're like, why are they so stressed out? I'm like, oh God, I'm an adult now. And so like, I get it. I totally freaking get it. But anyway, the larger point of me bringing this up of the stuff that's going on with sites like Polygon and Giant Bomb, just like poof, overnight it's gone. And I want to be really careful not to, I don't want to disrespect folks that lost their job, but like, it's the people that were behind those things, like they played a role in me doing what I do for a living now. Like I probably wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for shows like Giant Bombcast. And so I have crazy respect for them. But also, when you're sick and medicated, it makes you spiral in your head and you think about all the what ifs and the choices you've made to get to this point. That's where I've been in the last 48 hours with a lot of honey and antibiotics. And the point the whole reason I brought this up is that I just want to thank everyone who is still here and is still supporting us, because it's terrifying. Like that's nuts, because the fear as a content creator, the irrational fear we all share, is, oh my God, waking up one day, what if everyone just decides they hate me today? What if they just don't, what if people don't care tomorrow? And that never really happens. It's great when it starts to turn, it's gradual. It's never all at once. So like, I just want to say thanks. Like, I know not everyone can stick around right now. I know times are hard for a lot of people. And I completely understand. And to those people, I want to say, thanks for supporting us while you could, or while you wanted to, whatever reason it is that you may want to stop, totally get it. Totally valid. But also to those of you that are here right now supporting us, it's a tough year for a lot of people. And I just want to let you know that I see that, and I appreciate the shit out of it, because we couldn't do this without you. Like, we've had down years, and I would categorize 2025 as a down year. But usually in the past, when we've had down years, it was like all hands on deck. Got to find as much work as possible, because it might impact my life, the life of my family. And so far this year, that is not the case. Like, we're down a little, but it's okay and it's sustainable. And so thank you for making us not have to go work for outlets that demand endless growth.
Or AI guide writing. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane what's being transformed many of those websites. I mean, our biggest fear is the random shit. I would say that's my biggest fear, is like, imagine your video game tag was Leo 14, and you wake up and you're like, oh shit. The Pope name. I need to rebrand myself dramatically. Like, like that sort of random crap that can happen in this line of work is sort of my wake up in the middle of the night fears. But ultimately, like, I'm a theater kid through and through, and I'm really pleased we can continue to make people happy, and that even our most dramatically tagged videos have merit and an opportunity for fun in them. And I really want to bring more of that to y'all. It's been a weird learning experience too, while we're being real here. Certainly just entering the rating scene and evolving into current 14. There's a lot of weird stuff. There's a lot of drama for drama's sake, and there's some shit that's straight up like, oh my God, that's dramatic and very real, that we've had to navigate, and just kind of figuring out what kind of content we want to make in this sphere and still keep that happiness that we had and share that joy, because that's ultimately what it is to me. It all comes back to when I was 13 and I'm like, hey mom, the kids don't like me at school. And they're like, and she said, well, you talk about Dungeons and Dragons too much. Maybe don't talk about D&D so much.
Ouch.
And I had a choice before me. But it's true, though. Like, I said to her, it seems tough, but I said to her, I kind of want to be more popular. I want more kids to like me. And the obvious line of thinking was, stop talking about the stuff that makes you awkward. And so I thought about it, and I said, no. I'm happier like this. Now, you're not mature enough to know that the popular kids aren't happy either, because you don't have that emotional intelligence to see through what they're dealing with and what sort of expectations are held over them. You just see people popular, attention, dating each other, must be happy. And so that's the kind of energy I want to continue to make with our videos and put into the world, is something that is happy. While click sell, and some conversations are just freaking fun to have and interesting. We're going to talk.
I feel like your mom would handle me saying F that well.
She would give you well, that's your choice. And like, and that is like, essentially in a contractual way, the meanest thing would happen is you've just null and voided your choice to complain in the future about said issue. You've been presented an option. If you want to be popular, follow this path. If you want to continue down your path of nerdiness and rejection, please don't complain about it further. And that's tough. That's tough love.
That is a fair and a solid lesson to learn.
It is.
I think a maybe more helpful way to spin it would be to say, hey honey, there's value in learning to read the room, and making a choice past that point.
Yes.
Just don't go in bluntly.
Don't go guns a-blazing about D&D in every conversation that you ever possibly can have, right? Like, it's fine advice, but also it's what made me happy. And in the early years of the internet, it was the people I found who wanted to be happy were those that felt kind of rejected and wanted a place to feel safe, feel seen, feel excited genuinely about whether a battlecruiser could take on a carrier in a 1v1 fight if you targeted correctly.
That stupid type of conversation is like, that's the goal. That is the building block behind everything we do. It's just like, hey, can we keep having those really nerdy conversations about what Pokemon we caught over the weekend at the lunch table into our 40s, please and thank you? Is that something we can keep alive?
Yes.
While we have to worry about shit like mortgages and child rearing. That'd be great.
And you can, and obviously, like, you can tell that if you know a content creator in the end game of their game, the videos to make are right there, and you can remake the same exact video over and over every month. And we chose not to make those, but it has led to an immense amount of experimenting, and we're really excited to show you that next phase, which hopefully won't be delayed by jury duty, which is legally allowed. I changed states, which means that I'm on a different cooldown than I was previously. So even though I served, I'm in a different state now, so they can get me again.
That is bonkers.
It's wild.
Also, just to invoke Nextlander, Brad over at Nextlander just got jury duty, and I think it's like 3 months or something insane.
Oh, he got a big one. Yeah, he got a huge one.
Nuts. Like, I was, I was coughing while laughing. I was just like, oh my God, two podcasts at the same time. What is happening? The U.S. Judicial system wants gaming podcasts to die.
Apparently. We are here for the experimenting, says a chat. Thank you so much. Also, know that we've also thrown away a lot of experiments because we are perfectionists and we don't share.
It's fine. People know that about us at this point. Nobody's surprised to hear that. Absolutely no one is surprised to hear that.
But excited to show you what
KMCA, I love this message. It says, meanwhile, Kyle is now... Kyle is popular more than probably every popular jockey went to school with. We're gonna have to hold on, Kyle. Did anyone from the Albuquerque High School, did they get an NFL career? We're gonna need to.
I don't know about fact checking that. Though I am extremely proud to be working in my degree sphere because I was ridiculed and laughed at by the theater people in my degree because I said I wanted to go work on the internet, which was weird and dumb. And that worked out all right for
prestigious.
Me. Yes, it wasn't Shakespearean enough. So I
got to give a hat tip to my instructors from art school because I go back every once in a while because I'm within driving distance of where I went to college, and some of my instructors will have gallery showings and stuff, and so I'll bump into them. And 3 of which I've seen since I've graduated, all 3 of them were like, "You're doing podcasts now, right? Looks like you're being really successful," and they're like jazzed on it. They go out of their way to compliment me on it, and I just think that's really nice because I totally assumed they would have been like, "You're not doing real art. How dare you?" So thank you. It feels good to be seen.
It's cool when that happens, and to that degree, it was very refreshing to be in Wyoming doing university work because you were no longer in the creator sphere, and it was pure magic. We were like, we're shooting in HD, and we have the gimbal, which is one of those cameras that has a little motor, so you can like slow walk with it and do really cool shots. And they're like, "Say no more. I don't even know what any of that means, but you look awesome doing it. Please film our stuff." And just
I rented a $3,000 lens for this job. I did not obviously spend. It was much cheaper to rent it, but I've been dying to play with this lens. I was like a pig in shit, man. If I thought we had any use for this lens at all, it would have already been in the mail to me right now. I loved it. It was a Sony G Master for lens nerds. The 70 to 200 millimeter, which has a non-variable aperture all the way through that lens range. I can hear that. That's coming through to me.
Oh, it's not coming through to the chat.
Oh, gotcha. Well, that's getting picked up with the podcast.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right. No, it's all good. Rated M for mature. Yeah. Oh my God. It was anyway. That lens was a lot of fun. Why am I looking at HD Emmett Selk?
Oh, this is the Claire Obscure trailer. I was getting it set for later because we're going to
okay.
talk about that.
What is this character?
I don't know who this is.
About.
Yeah, I'm not sure who this is. You know, he's Joey Expedition.
Oh, Joey.
Yeah,
Expedition.
Joey Expedition.
Okay.
I think he's legally required to be under 33. I think is how it works. I'm not really sure.
He's legally required to be 33, which is why he gives a shit.
Oh, okay. Oh wow, he's ancient then. Damn.
Yeah,
I mean, actually,
Clive Fakerfield.
I actually don't know what the rules are in French anime land. Wait, no, French esports players were usually a little older, so maybe they're cool.
Oh, this is Ben Starr's character. So Ben Starr is voicing French Emmett Selk.
Cool.
I'm into this.
Yeah, now we're gonna talk about that.
There's
here in a
some
little bit.
good hair in this game. I need to play this game.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Sorry, I interrupted what you were finishing up on.
I don't remember.
Okay, well then let's get to the news. Let's do it. Let's talk video games.
So much has happened. Let's start with GTA 6 because it's probably the biggest news in all of video game dumb.
All right, GTA 6.
You have seen the trailer. I made you watch it before we went live.
Yes,
because I wanted to talk about it.
So I have missed everything since GTA 3. Right, that's where I grabbed a rocket launcher.
You didn't play 4. You had a PS3. That would have been GTA 4.
Oh yeah, why would I want to play it though? It's just cars and crime. You know, there's no wizards.
Because you're a millennial, and GTA was a pop culture phenomenon that none of us escaped from.
Well, GTA 3 was great. That's where I pissed off. So I would shoot ambulances that were spawning out of the hospital with a rocket launcher. Yep. And then my star rank would go up until there were helicopters and tanks, and we'd see how long we could live.
Yeah, we would pass the controller back and forth doing star runs at the birthday party. That like GTA 3 was huge for that. Which, by the way, I just thought about next time we do any sort of marathon, we should do that. We should load up GTA 3 and we should do a star run.
The star run, yeah. We'd have to get decently deep so we have access to okay weapons. At least
I'm sure at this point
you
can get a save editor or something.
Yeah, probably just download a save. But at any rate, so since then, there was like Vice City, but mainly Red Dead Redemption. Right, that's where we're pulling these roots from now, because this is a story trailer, which to me, a guy with a very square face walks up to a phone booth, gets talked at and doesn't reply, and then goes and grabs an El Camino.
I mean, I would say this traces. Have you watched the GTA 3 trailer recently? Because this traces a straight line back to the GTA 3 trailer. Like, yeah, the protagonist didn't talk, but everyone else did. The rest of the cast of GTA 3 was fully voiced.
Yeah, but compared to something like Mafia had a very rich story compared to something like GTA 3.
I agree with you, but trailer-wise, it's the same. Like, maybe GTA 3 didn't have licensed music, but this definitely draws a straight line to the Vice City trailer. Like, get licensed music, beautiful panning shots of Florida, and show our character doing things that they're going to be doing in the in the trailer. Yeah, no, I would fight you on this hardcore. I was really into GTA. You didn't play Vice City, you didn't play San Andreas, you didn't play the other GTA 3 spinoffs?
No, and I haven't played a Red Dead Redemption.
Man, you missed out.
I played State of Emergency. That was freaking sick. I love State of Emergency.
State of Emergency was a fun game. That was a fun game. And it was like your parents were not happy if you were playing.
No, but it was fun. It was essentially dangerous. The part of the getting stars that was fun in GTA 3. And they made it its own co-op game. It was incredible.
Yeah, but no, I played everything. I never beat 4. I hated the car physics in 4. I think GTA 4 is some of the worst car physics of any game I've ever played. I'm a hater on GTA 4's car physics. It had really good shooting though. Really improved the third-person shooting from the GTA 3 series. So I had fun with 4, but I felt like every car felt like you were driving a bank vault on soap. Like everything felt so heavy and slippery. But Vice Cities, I played the shit out of that game. Like
no, they're
GTA
popular.
Florida, hell yeah! Like let's go.
No, I remember the one with the bikini gal. They did a big mural right in the middle of Chicago on one of the buildings.
That would have bikini. Yeah, that was 5.
5,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is still the GTA we're on right now.
Yeah, I've seen some streams where people play, cops and robbers, and and run around. I've seen streams where people just pretend to be bus drivers and pick people up in a kind of MMO setting. Like, it's a wild, wild game.
Yeah. It's been, what, 12 years since GTA 5 dropped? Like, it's nuts. Because I played it on PS. That was a PS3 game? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, dude. That is insane to me. That is absolutely insane. Anyway, yeah, so the big news, no one needs us to tell them this. You already know. GTA 6 officially delayed. GTA 6 officially has a release date of May 26th of next year.
Woo!
So we're more than a year out. And after everyone, was done being depressed, they dropped a new trailer on us.
Yeah. Also, we're gonna get a ton of games over the next 18 months, which are going to be some half done. A huge wave of whatever the AI game craze was 2 years ago. That
this is Kyle's theory.
Yes,
this is based on no actual news.
It's absolutely
There's no
gonna
source
happen.
This
Everyone's gonna squeeze out their game ahead of time. Some of them will be like, "Thank God, I've got a little breathing room, and it'll come out in November, and it's gonna be great." Other games are just gonna be like, "Oh, we don't even want to compete with that," and they're gonna put out. But it's on a 2-year lag. We always have these up and coming new technology kind of games, and we're about to receive that AI wave, and it's gonna squeeze in before this. But
yeah, so I gotta ask, man. You're my hipster buddy. You're so unique. You're so cool. You don't consume anything the average human consumes. Am I a boring person because I think this looks incredible?
Yeah, and you love monogamy. You're just nuts about monogamy. This is.
I am a monogamous
monogamy. The trailer, which is
oh my God. There is
so
nothing
cute.
in this world I love more than jacked man in love with his prison wife.
Yeah.
Like,
man, look at that.
Doesn't say, prison wife has a different term. His wife who's freshly out of prison.
Exactly.
Like, I love this shit. If this was an AMC show, I would be like, Kyle, please watch this. What is wrong with you?
You also got a fresh haircut for her, so it's real sweet,
Dude, this is Fast and the Furious the game. This is Too Fast, Too Furious the game, and I cannot wait for it. This dude just looks like DC Drew Paul Walker. This is just DC Comics Paul Walker.
I mean,
and his Too Fast, Too Furious girlfriend. I'm so into this. He's a cop, by the way. He is a cop. This
he
dude,
is a cop.
They are doing Fast and the Furious. There's no world where the dude character is not a cop.
What do you mean?
He moves like a cop.
He works for like Joe's discount rough 'em up shop.
He freaking moves like a cop, man.
And then he works out and he gets beer.
This is my theory. This is my big theory. He's totally a cop.
You think they're gonna give him like an alternative directive in the middle of it that he's kind of working for the man on the other side?
Yeah. I think he's undercover. I think he fell in love with a bad chick.
No, he picks her up from prison, and he even said that he was in prison previously.
He's gonna have to choose.
Maybe I think that's a good.
He has a rap. Maybe he did time, and I think he reduced that sentence
by
working with the Vice City PD.
That could be. Yeah, he sold the information, and now he's got a bunch of enemies. While he's also helping her get her big score because she wants revenge on whoever put her away, and maybe it was him. And then wouldn't that be interesting? I mean, the reason I bring up not experiencing a Rockstar game since State of Emergency is because in the background of my inexperience, Rockstar Games has become like a Naughty Dog. They are now a storytelling studio. And to me, I don't really care about GTA story, but I do care about Red Dead Redemption. I think that all the videos I've seen of it, even though I've never played it, it is an extremely interesting tale.
I have a multifaceted response to that, which is they are that for me. I don't think they are that for most people.
What, a storyteller?
I think that for the general public, Rockstar is the GTA Online company. I think the most the day-to-day pop culture conversation that happens around Rockstar from one day to the next is because of the longevity of GTA Online and the popularity of it through RP streams and live streaming. But I'm with you. For me, like, Red Dead Redemption is one of the greatest stories ever told in a video game. Like, that's the first. Red Dead is the first time I got teary-eyed playing a game story. The end of Red Dead Redemption is one of the saddest things I've ever experienced in fiction. But it's also powerful and it's moving, and I think you're really missing out if you haven't played it.
Well, there's no rush. It's like a class.
At this point,
it's like a classic movie.
At the rate we're getting remakes and remasters, you might want to wait. I would love. I'm praying to God for a Red Dead Redemption remaster.
Yeah, but it's not like he's going to be picked up by the Fourth Council of Space and like there's a huge spoiler. Like the spoiler is probably, like his family gets killed or something and like he owes money and cougars are bad or something along those lines. Like it's not, there's no rush. But here, so that's what I see in this game is I'm like, oh damn, it looks like you have a real story to tell. Not a lot of gameplay in this trailer, obviously. That doesn't really matter. I don't have the close connection to Florida that you possess, because I live in New Florida.
This is New Florida, man.
This trailer is
a modern day Florida.
This is a celebration of old Florida as it exists today. New Florida is the housing developments that us foreigners bring to your state.
Can I bring? How topical do you want to get? Do you?
Depends.
I have a pretty like. Damn, this is getting real take that I saw that I want to talk about, but it's going to get into some pretty topical territory. Okay. So if you would like to stay in Florida territory first, we can finish that can before moving on.
Oh, I thought they'd be related. Okay, what you doing?
They're not. Florida gets a lot of shit. Like I have nothing more to say. Like it is an extremely complicated, diverse, and majestic tapestry of a place to live. I do like unequivocally love it here. That does not mean I love everything about it here.
Sure. Oh, excuse me. I hit a button and got real loud. Let me fix that.
Oh, did you? Oh, you sound okay to me. But yeah, like no, just on the topic of like capturing Florida as a vibe, like they've done it. I think I tweeted earlier this week through a split moment where I was awake and consumed this before going back to sick sleep that they've absolutely nailed it. My tweet was, these are just places I've been and people I have seen. Like this is Florida, man. They absolutely nailed it. It's crazy how realistic this is. So and so that part of it has me excited because like I just want to go play in the sandbox that is the state that is your home state, with no rules at all. Which is funny because I think a part of the reputation of Florida is there are no rules here. There are some rules. We do not just shoot grenade launchers at cars on the highway and get away with it. But that is exactly what I'm going to do in GTA 6.
You do fish everywhere. Like that's the most insane thing
we
just like fishing. It doesn't matter if there is water access, someone will be fishing there.
Yep.
Anywhere. That's just the way it goes.
Literally anywhere. Yeah. What I've been lied to, Sayos. That's a suspiciously specific example, Garrett. Listen, I was a pyro in my youth. I think I can tell some of those stories. I think the statute of limitations are up. But it never involved a grenade launcher. I am not covering up anything when I say that. That is an honest. That is an honest thing. Yeah. But let's talk about intense monogamy, Kyle. Let's get topical.
Oh, is that what? Okay, I didn't understand what the big scandal was. So monogamy.
I saw a take that I really liked, and so I'm gonna cite it. I'm actually digging this up. I don't know who this person is. But someone who goes by the Twitter handle, the Cartel Dell, said, for me, one of the biggest anticipations for GTA 6's story is how awesome it is to be in love with a woman. Something that was really cool when I was growing up. And that hit me like a ton of bricks, man.
Wait a minute. This is a good tweet, right?
This is a good tweet. Okay. I agree with this tweet. Okay. I want to give this tweet more than one like.
Okay. Okay.
It's a good tweet. They followed it up by name dropping like some like a very specific, extremely toxic creator who I just don't want to talk about, and then included a GIF of Yuna and name no one can agree to pronounce, and from Final Fantasy X.
Okay.
Titus.
Oh yeah, Titus. Yeah. Okay. I gotcha.
So basically talking about like this culture of folks that take masculinity to pretty toxic degrees, to the point where you end up seeing real women or fictional women and a bunch of comments below immediately just dogging them for not being hot enough, being too hot. All of this, this whole cesspool thing. So that's where you
sound insane as someone who doesn't participate in the online spheres that you frequent. You sound actually insane.
I sound insane to you? People are running afoul of this.
I understand
from a moment-to-moment standpoint.
I get why, because I have reference. I can understand like how when I stopped paying attention 5 years ago that this became that. But like
this is to put it in a sphere that is more directly related to our community. This is somehow part of the snowball that led to all of the bullshit that our poor and wonderful friend Joe Cat ran afoul of with a video called "I Like Girls."
Okay. So let me reveal the first step of why I was confused, because it sounded like an anti-gay tweet for a hot moment. Isn't it nice to see a man love a woman? And I was like, wait, what? Wait, what?
Oh, that's an interesting read. I didn't think about it that way.
But I get how in the cycle of what we've been through, like something about that has now, like we're resurfacing the idea of this, like, no, it's just the monogamy that we're celebrating. And that when she walks out of prison, she looks kind of sweaty. That's okay.
I didn't think about that. I can totally say I would read into it that way.
Yeah.
Especially if you're dating on a regular basis, so you're not exposed to the moment-to-moment drama that I am, because I am on social media a lot.
Sure.
I am terminally online. But yeah, no, I was coming at it for lack of a better word, from the incel angle.
Yes, no, and I get, and it's a road we all must cross, because anime girls don't smell. And that is it's a really intense realization you have to make, hopefully, when you're, in your teens, and you learn to deal with it.
I marvel at the way your brain works, man.
And it's a tough life lesson. But eventually,
I'm fairly certain for some people, part of the fantasy is trying to discern what the anime girl smells like.
Could be, if that's how your brain lays out, more power to you, I guess, at least, love what you love. But, I'm just saying, I've been on Stitch's hot dog wild ride, and I'd never want to be on it again. I do not want my wake up anime alarm clock to go psh, psh, after it, gets going for the day. I don't need any, smell-o-vision. I don't need 4DX in my life.
Huh. Interesting.
Wait. Rewind. Huh? Interesting is not the response I expected there. So you were reading chat. What did you see in chat?
Chat's still. Also, shout out to, good to see you, Not Paradox. I miss you, bud. multiple people who were with you being like, "Oh yeah, I thought that was." I was like, "Hold on, Garrett, I thought that was anti-gay." I'm like, "No, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, I thought." Uh, yeah, I no, I strictly was seeing this tweet as a response to angry men on the internet who are like, "I'm not with the women because women won't be with me, and I'm proud of that." And I just find that odd because I grew up watching a Goofy movie and thinking being that down bad for a wonderful woman was aspirational. And I don't see a lot of that these days, and that's insane to me. So I felt very represented by this take.
I see. Yeah, no, I'm not calling you out. You described your read well. It was merely the rewind I needed because I got stuck. You know, my teacher always said, if your hand is up, your ears are off. So I needed to rewind because my hand went up for a hot moment there. I was like, I have a question.
Yeah, for me, like, and I want to be very clear with chat right now that, like, for me, it's not like a straight thing. It's a relationship. It's like, let's celebrate relationships. Let's celebrate going out and finding someone to be in love with. Who's in love is irrelevant to me. Love who you love. I hope if you've been here long enough that you know where I stand on that.
Yeah, there's always a chance.
I'm not talking to you now.
I'm just saying. There's always a chance someone hears you for the first time, but you're good. You're good, my man. I'm letting you know, cool. You're good. I got your back.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't a call to you. I was just merely trying to research the landscape we find ourselves in. Do they? So when you're seeing this pushback against monogamy, is that the problem?
No, it's
or is
it's again, let's like I don't poor Joe Cat, but he's unfortunately a wonderful example of this. He made a short video joking about, I just like girls and here are all the different type of girls that I like, and then it went hyper viral, got out of his sphere of influence, ended up on the incel side of the table, and got dogpiled for what was seen as gay energy for straight thoughts. So he wasn't straight enough for the angry straights. And it's insane to me, man. It's insane to me. Like, I don't get it. I'm so tired, man. I'm also quite tired this week because I'm legitimately sick, but
right.
But that's like what this. I was happy to see someone kind of like see the trailer from GTA 6 and be like, "Oh man, I'm so hyped for this relationship." And that's fucking cool to me because I really like love stories from all walks. I love disaster couples, which this looks like. Like, there's a wonderful disaster couple in Andor, and I am reeling after the episodes this week, by the way, because it involves my new favorite Star Wars disaster couple, and it is some of the most gut-wrenching, like, doomed romance I have experienced in fiction in years. I am still thinking about episode 8 right now. And those who know, and those who don't, I will say no more. But yeah, man, I don't know. GTA 6 trailer, a particular couple in Andor, and also just the conversations this has spawned, and it has made me think of like what Joe Cat ran afoul of, is like, it just makes me realize I really like romance in fiction, of all types. And disaster relationships in Gideon. Yes. Oh my God. The Gideon, the Lock Tomb series is a cornucopia of disaster relationships. Yeah, I'm just, it's something I really like. And I guess there has been a little bit of a lack of it recently, but again, it's like, regardless of sexual preference, like I like seeing a good romance in fiction. So, and there's been some good ass romance in fiction lately, and it's looking like GTA 6 is going to have some like a good ass romance story, and I'm excited about that. So hell yeah, let's do it. The kids yearn for Max and Roxanne.
Is that their names in this? Oh, you're talking
No,
about
that's in a
Goofy
Goofy movie, man.
Which one was Roxanne?
She was the fine ass lady that Max was going after.
What?
So Roxanne is the reason that Max danced on stage.
Yes, but he was pretending to be someone else, and he thought that would be better, and that was the life lesson, right? Is he just needed to be himself?
Yes,
He
yes.
just needed
to. If you are young, if you are like the two listeners under the age of 35 consuming this podcast, and you're crushing for the first time in your life, go watch a Goofy movie. It is not a bad way to learn how to pursue someone that you are interested in. So, yeah, go for it. The kids here for Dom and Letty. I was more of a Brian and Maria guy, but sure.
Also, you pointed out to me that the rewind bar on YouTube is her ass, which is pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you have a link to that tweet that you can show on stream?
Let me see if I can get it up here. Because, gosh, here. I got it here. We'll just put that on screen. Yeah, right there. Look at that.
Yeah. So when you seek on YouTube, you can see the most popular
popular replay moment. Yeah.
And Mount Everest of Seek locations on the Final Fantasy, on the GTA 6 trailer, is the female protagonist's butt in a gold cocktail dress.
I find that I don't know what to make of that. It's really confusing.
I mean, I think
it's really confusing.
I think nature's healing, man.
Maybe.
I think we all just want to appreciate art. Like, I think it's okay.
It's just so basic, you know.
It is, but that's okay, man.
It's the button dress, monogamy and a button the dress. Nature's healing.
I think for a lot of us, we've all been down. We've been down such specific rabbit holes, you know. I think we've all had our moment of like, oh shit, I'm into anime monster spider women. That crime girl in cute cocktail dress, you know, at a certain point you're just like,
that's all
refreshing.
You need. That's all you need.
This is refreshing. Like, yeah, and it's grew up in Florida, started dating in Florida. You know, I'm now married to a woman I at one point was going to high school dances with. That's like a shot of nostalgia for me because I'm like, oh shit, Katie used to wear dresses like that. Like that's just, you know, you show up to I'd show up to a homecoming, and you know that was not dissimilar from, you know, how I've seen Katie dressed at other points in our life. So I'm just like, yeah, that's just Florida culture. That's just how you dress when you go out to dance in Florida. Like,
it is hot. It is hot. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not an excuse. It's actually a better dress to wear in many regards because it's going to be freaking. What's he wearing in that scene?
I missed it. I think it looks like it's a boat party.
I think he's doing I think he's doing like the rolled up sleeve thing. He's in a t-shirt. Yeah,
it's a button down.
Yeah, button down.
Short sleeve
button down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Cuban style.
Yeah.
Like that's really common in Florida. I own a ton of shirts.
So he's baking a bit, but you know, it is hot.
Yeah. That's Florida. Dude, like if you're going out to party at night and you still want to look a little nice, but it's hot, that's how you dress. Like that's like maybe not so many sequins now, but that's me and Katie trying to look fancy in Key West.
With the sequins. To me, it is strictly a Goodwill dress because of the number of sequins.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nothing but sequins.
Nothing but.
Yeah, dude, they nailed it. It's Florida. Give me my doomed disaster couple. Let's go. I can't wait for this. It makes me want to actually dip my toe in the GTA Online for the first time because we do love our MMOs here, and GTA Online sure seems MMO adjacent, and I have never played it. So We should do that at some point as an investigative piece.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it clearly is one of the biggest games in the world. And it does sound fun, like the role-playing people get up to in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, don't judge me for my anime Spider-Woman waifu. There's no judgment. There's no judgment here at all. We do not judge. Unless you're mean to other people.
Yes.
That's when we judge.
Yeah, I just judge in reverse when, the desires are so available.
Yeah. All right, let's go from the biggest news in games to the singular, most insular, the sevens of people.
What?
I'm going in order of the outline here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So if you're surprised, you shouldn't be because you made these notes.
Okay, sevens though. What did I do?
Well, the next thing was Blizzard's one-button rotation assist.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I thought it'd be, I figured you wanted to go from the most relatable to the most like tens of people give a shit.
Wait, hang on. This is fascinating. No, I think more people give a shit than will use it.
We're in the tens.
Yeah,
we're in the tens.
Yeah. No,
but the amount of people who give a shit about GTA 6 to the amount of people that give a shit about you can play World of Warcraft with one button. That's
sure. If we're talking like,
dude.
yeah. But we're already a fraction, our audience fraction, so I think we're doing okay. Let's take a look here.
Summary says we're talking about Lola Bunny. Why? How dare you? Lola Bunny is not.
That doesn't make any sense. We didn't talk about
Goofy
Lola
movie.
Bunny.
That is not the same.
A lot of people
get it.
Yeah,
I get how you make that connection.
There are a lot of awakenings that happen with that Lola Bunny, but
But no. Yeah.
What about biker mice from Mars?
Are you into that? Is that something you're into?
I don't remember it much, honestly. There was a weird Cows of Moo Moo Mesa, biker mice from Mars, Street Sharks, Lola Bunny, all kind of happened around the same time. So it was just kind of weird that it all happened at the same time.
Yeah. Thanks for the supers, everybody. We'll definitely do a little super forum at the end of the program today because some of them are loading a little too late to still be on topic. Thank you for the support, everyone. But Savas, I appreciate that warning to do GTA Online on console because apparently PC version is just ripe with cheaters.
I've heard that. Yeah. But super forum at the end. Let's go. Today, let's discuss the new news coming out of Blizzard, which is the single button assistant and the assisted highlight mode in patch 11.1.7. So before you go, I don't play World of Warcraft. This is interesting because what they're adding is a single button rotation, and not like your Vipers in Final Fantasy XIV. You are going to have a single button that goes through all of your rotation, and you can just press that as a learning tool, as a accessibility option, but it will also increase your global cooldown. So this is not to be used in the highest ending of raiding. And it is not going to move you where it is safe, but you get to press one button.
Immediately, the 14 players show up. Oh, so like my summoner macro? Oh, so like Reapers?
Exactly. But
y'all got jokes.
But here the idea being that is official. And in order to make it official, they are adding a penalty to the global cooldown, meaning you will always do less DPS than someone playing correctly. This also comes with a little bit of news that they might be fighting add-ons that assist in combat in World of Warcraft. So your autoplay add-ons, not macros, but autoplay add-ons will be getting targeted and taken down or forcibly removed from the game.
Which you have explained to me, because I am super out of the loop on this, because I'm just like, why would you, who wants this? Why? And you informed me that it appears to be all in service of being able to take down one button add-ons that are currently available and do not invoke any sort of global cooldown penalty because they're an add-on.
Yes.
They just game the system, let you press one button. But now that they're officially putting in one button through Blizzard, they can tie in a GCD penalty to using the system.
Yeah, so single button add-on modes will, and this is from the Blue Post, adjust to abilities from changing talents, include them in the cycle of abilities, or even abilities that become highlighted. So in World of Warcraft, if you have a proc whenever you fireball to get a free or improved pyroblast, for instance, on your mage, it'll work that in. You can even open the menu and choose which abilities you want this to use, and if there's any you don't want it to use. It'll swap between single target and AoE abilities based on the proximity of enemies near your target, which is pretty damn smart and rather cool. And that is the list of things it will do. What it won't do, move your character around the world. It will not use blink, it will not use sprint or heroic leap. Change targets for you if your target dies or if you want to debuff multiple enemies. Use major cooldowns like Avenging Wrathblade Storm or Ascendant. So basically, it is not going to use your 30-minute big tank cooldowns for you. You need to use those. It's not going to interrupt any enemies. It'll not heal you at low health or use any defensive abilities. And it will not use any trinkets, potions, trade skills, or items from your inventory. So there's still a decent amount of, I guess, expression you could have in the background. On the original show of this, it was a 0.2 second global cooldown increase. Now it's at 0.3 on the PTR. And so you were punished for using this. But they're trying to make a game more accessible to story players. People who just want to play through it for the story. Whether or not you enjoy the WoW story and how it's told is a whole different ball game. There's also people who are forced to do combat encounters, even though their main thing is like farming for mounts in other types of gameplay.
Yeah. I don't. It's at first when I first heard this news, I was just like super confused. I was like, What's the purpose? Like, why? Who wants this? And I've seen accessibility, and that's fair. But my understanding is a lot of players that also need accessibility features. Usually, like some challenge to going through, and WoW has good accessibility features, and a few years ago went through a lot of updates to add a lot more to them. And my understanding is that was well received. I'm a bad spokesman for this because I don't take advantage of accessibility features, so I can't speak to it from a personal experience. But
when it comes to accessibility, a lot of it is about taking down the number of buttons you have access to, because you might be using 2 controllers. You might be using assistant controllers. Like Microsoft has a suite of various sized and different design buttons that you can map to whatever keyboard options you have. So imagine in your situation, you really can only hit about 5 buttons. In this case, you got 1 button. Okay, 1 button. It maybe could do everything. And then you're like, I really don't like the way it uses my Pyroblast when I haven't trinketed. So you'd open the menu here, say, please do not use my Pyroblast for me. And now you'll map that to your 2 button yourself. And on your 3 button, you'd have your trinket. So now you slowly become more in control. And eventually, maybe you enter a world where you say, actually, that global cooldown punishment is too much for me. I'm going to turn this off.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I'm not going to use it. It's probably going to help a few more people get into the game. I think that's all right. It's totally fine if you're mad about it. Like, don't.
Wait, hang on. Hold up. You did the thing again. You're talking to the internet. What's happening? People are mad about this?
I'm talking to chat right now. Do you have the ability to read chat?
I can't read while I'm thinking is the thing. Yeah, it words entering my eyeballs require a full processing. So I can't read while talking.
Okay.
All right, is chat mad about this?
No, but chat's talking about people who are mad about this.
Oh, okay. So it seems like a wonderful idea, and I think it's very interesting for the future.
Like, not paradox here, and I've seen the sentiment around saying the main argument against it is that people will bully those trying to learn proper rotations to just use the auto rotation. And I've seen that going around, but
wait,
this is where I put on my realist hat and go, if you're worried about bullying and we shouldn't do things because bullying might happen, we would never do anything, because people will always, as long as there is one person left alive, there will always be an asshole on the internet. Like,
wait, so you'd be playing like organically, like you'd be doing your buttons and you mess them up and someone's like, oh, put on assist nub because your rotation's so bad. I'd rather watch you have a longer global cooldown.
Yes.
Huh. I would say that's interesting.
It's pretty low on my give a shit scale.
I mean, I also just wonder. Then you get into some interesting angles of like, did the game teach you well enough? Is the game's feedback good enough? So, for instance, something that I struggle with in Final Fantasy XIV is I don't know how much healing my healing spells do. If someone was like, "Hey, Kyle, what's the biggest crit you've ever gotten on Astrologian Heal?" I have no freaking idea. I have no idea what your all's health pools are. I know that when I hit this button, bar goes from half to full. But because the numbers aren't sexy enough, the way they pop up, and they don't make me feel good.
They're subtle ass numbers.
They're very subtle. I do not understand how to heal based on numbers. If I had to insert the amount of health you needed to take your bar from full, or half to full, I would fail that test. And I would not be a good healer.
Well, it doesn't help, too, that the game is distinctly like letting you know how you did.
So in this sort of method, you could say that, the game taught them wrong along the way up, that when they were killing that mob, their patience was too great and they took twice the time to kill it and never asked themselves, why do I suck?
Yes.
That's a cool idea. And I think we saw things like this with Viper and the whole rework, for instance, we saw in Final Fantasy XIV of them chaining abilities together to battle button bloat. And this is one more way to do that. And I think something like this will affect the way future class design plays as they go, you know what, that was a cool idea. We have the technology. Can we make more classes like this? Can we make more abilities that after you press the button once, it becomes another button? And those are very cool. And I appreciate getting new abilities that are on that same vein. And most of them aren't just heal more. It's usually heal first or do damage first and then do something else on that back line. The part where it targets AoE or single target together is crazy to me. And I mean, think of the button blip you could get rid of in Final Fantasy XIV by just letting it auto-sense characters close enough together.
I started reading again, Kyle. I'm sorry. You sound like you're starting to get general, and I'm like, cool, I don't need to pair in. And then you bring it back specific at the end. I go, shit.
I apologize. Should we talk about Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering?
I should be apologizing. Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering?
The fastest selling, most outrageously money making Magic the Gathering set ever.
Is that true?
That is true. Yes, it is. It has the most pre-sales of any Magic the Gathering set in existence.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's nuts.
And like the abilities are super cute. I think the one of the big ones making the rounds right now is the Xenos Galvus card. My first friend, when Xenos Galvus enters, choose a creature opponent controls.
This card, like, alone makes me want to learn Commander.
Until end of turn, creatures other than Xenos and the chosen creature get -2/-2. When the chosen creature leaves the battlefield, transform Xenos into a legendary dragon. When the chosen player loses the game, you win the game. Which is a Commander, multiplayer sort of aspect.
Yeah.
But just the flavor they're putting in all these cards is absolutely adorable. There's a lot of love in the things they're making. The Hildebrand Manderville having zombie tokens as an adventure. These are like really fan made is the fun thing about them. Like all these cards they're coming out with continue to seem like they were people on the inside wanting the card to be great.
This is the kind of thing that I think if you're a fan, you look for. You're trying to find out like if they're going past the wall of cash grab. Because you can do a collab, you can just throw some art on a thing, and that's enough for some people. But if you're looking for evidence that some of the people working on this set are true blue Final Fantasy, in this case, 14 trash. Your Honor, I rest my case.
They're really well thought out. The Graha card was put up today, and he is a cat wizard.
Yes.
It's not even like a human cat wizard. Just straight up,
Cat wizard.
Yeah, he's cat wizard. He is cat wizard.
I've been trying not to get hyped about this because I'm just like, hey, I don't need to spend money on it.
It's going to be so inaccessible is the problem.
We need to find a box. We need to do anything we can to find a box. We need to do just a pack cracking stream.
I hope
you do not understand. You don't understand how much we will be dropping the ball to our audience if we do not somehow get a hold of
I know,
box.
and I'm hoping like maybe I can do a draft night for these or something. But like it's looking like these might just not be available for draft night. Like people are buying these at such an insane rate. Here's Graha, by the way. Lifelink, throw wide the gates is his ability. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay X life, where X life is the mana cost value. If you do create a 1/1 colorless hero token and put X +1/+1 counter, you summon heroes. You summon heroes as Graha. Like, it's freaking cute.
Jesus. That's awesome. That art's great too. They know their audience.
Yeah, I mean this is the alt art.
Where's the standard Graha art?
I haven't seen the standard myself actually. I'm not sure where that is right now. Oh wait, here I got it. Let me see. Open. Let me open this link.
Oh my god, that Una art.
There we go.
Holy shit.
Scion Reborn.
Oh, I love this. Is so. I'm sorry, audio listeners. I'm just reacting to visuals now. But the standard Graha art is fan freaking tastic. I love anime. I love the anime art as well for the alt cards. However, I am also a Magic fan, and I'm loving seeing Magic artists take a crack at Final Fantasy characters that I am putting it mildly, feral for.
Yeah, well, we talked about the Emmet on the previous episodes, and those are cute, and those kind of were like, are we getting there? And it just seems
you
like
watch your mouth. That Emmet art is amazing.
No,
it's still my
good.
favorite art of the set.
I'm talking about abilities. I mean, I do care about pictures, but I'm already bought in.
About pictures. Care about pictures. Why Graha have to pose like that towards me? Is that a complaint?
Because they know what the people want.
Doesn't sound like a complaint.
Una, Grand Summon, add 1 mana of any color. When your next creature is cast with the spell, that creature enters with +2 counters on it. Whenever another permanent you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, if it had 1 or more counters on it, you may put that +1 counter on target creature. And these are all multicolored, so these are such commander fodder because it gives you access to all the colors that your commander is a part of. So these are looking insane. I hope too we can get a box. It'd just be fun. That'd be a blast of a stream. But like I said, I'm just concerned there's not even going to be boxes for Friday Night Magic. I don't even know if the stores will be willing to hold on to a box to make it last because the pre-sales are so insane.
Yeah, I really don't know. Because what's the date for this? It's imminent, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coming up fast.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we should we need to pull we need to start a GG Florida group. And I think we should just get together and be like, hey, everybody, if anyone gets a line on an extra box, can you shout out?
Pre-release on June 6th and full release on the 13th.
So yeah, so we're a month out, right around the corner. Offer to advertise a store for a box. I mean, I don't know. Part of me, the hunt is actually fun. And also part of me is like, I don't like throwing my weight around like that. I like to just find it. The most I like throwing my weight around is like, hey y'all, if you're already on the hunt and you magically end up with 1 more box, then you know what to do with. We will buy it for fair price.
Man, when's Father's Day this year? That's where we can throw some weight around. Let's see here. The 15th.
Why? What does that have to do with it?
Well, because it comes out on the 13th, Father's Day on the 15th, and just say for Father's Day, I'd like a box of Magic cards.
So I don't think you being a dad is going to make a box any easier to get.
No, we're just saying like what we're willing to throw we're willing to throw weight around, like professionally, throwing around a weight is kind of weird, but throwing around for a birthday or Father's Day, that's fine.
Yeah. I did just hit me. We have a buddy who owns multiple comic stores.
See, there we go. Yeah, just a little friendly contact. You know, it's not even just a little friendly contact. Little hey,
how do you
hey, how do I? You know, can we get access to some cards?
No, that's originally I don't know, man. Like at first I was like, oh, it's fun. Like, let's be honest. The TTRPG was not a huge hit for us.
The way, the RPG, yeah.
I was thinking this would be kind of a non-starter, but the Xenos card really has me hyped, man.
Yeah,
like it really hyped. So now I'm hyped on top of the fact that our Discord's kind of burning itself down with excitement for this at this point, and so I'm like, oh no, I have not prepared correctly. I think I might actually let our community down if we don't rip through a ton of packs on stream. So clearly, I'm doing it for our community, Kyle.
There you go.
It's important for our
exactly.
audience
It's important
that we
whatever helps you sleep at night.
Spend reckless amounts of money on Magic cards.
There you go.
It is important for our audience. And if we do it and the Patreon numbers don't go up, I will be very sad.
That's not their fault. Our life is full of experimental maneuvers. We talked about it at the start of the show. You can't hold that over them. But do support our bromance at supportourbromance.com.
Supportourbromance.com.
Next up.
Help us maybe buy Magic cards if we can even find them to buy them.
Or don't, because this is the sin that's holding Magic the Gathering back. It's kind of insane in that regard. Like, because the whole tie-in card art, what do they call it? Like Legendary Worlds or something like that Magic the Gathering got involved in. The Fortnitification of Magic the Gathering has been a hot topic for a while for Magic the Gathering fans. But much like a live-action Disney movie, sometimes you're like, oh, wait, hang on. And it's going to be okay. Apparently,
I like that Aladdin, man. I like that live-action Aladdin.
This is one of the times where everyone's like, now, wait, hang on. This is actually looking like it's a lot of fun.
I am also celebrating the failure of Snow White because the headlines are now coming out saying they're not going to make as many of these. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you, Snow White. Because, yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, the Aladdin movie was kind of fun. It was all right. You know what? And you know why? That ties into the whole episode.
Why?
Those kids had real good chemistry, man. I was bought into that romance on that live-action Aladdin.
Love is fun.
Yeah. I love love.
Love
is great.
Look at that good old monogamy coming back.
Shut
rearing
up. It's not about monogamy.
Rearing its beautiful head.
It's not about monogamy. And Elden Ring is also very anti-monogamy.
But no, you have to pick your favorite shrine maiden, or else, you don't get to.
No, you get to play with more than one person in Nightreign.
Oh, yes, that part.
It is
that part.
Strictly non-monogamous.
That part, yeah. So let's.
It is a menage a trois.
Let's rewind a bit because I stand by it, and more importantly, Kristen stands by it. That first trailer was ass, absolute trash, and they have put up a new trailer. The gameplay reveal trailer.
Can I give my little piece though?
Sure, if you want to interrupt my intro.
Here's the pervasiveness of Elden Ring and the effect that it's had on pop culture. I've never given a crap about a single thing FromSoft has ever made until living in a post Elden Ring world. And so, hi, here's the report on that first Nightreign trailer from someone who doesn't give a shit about the word iframes. I thought it was perfectly fine and it was everything I needed to go, Kyle, we're playing this. It's good for us and it's good for the channel. You're being stupid.
No, it was a poor display and it was unclear about if it was PvP or PvE at the time and what exactly made it special. It was a weird trailer. It was I
still, with all the love in the world, thought you were being stupid.
That's fine because I was wrong apparently. So by pure stupidity, you win. And it was my stupidity, not yours, to be clear. This looks great. This actually looks really, really good. So they have officially put out a bunch more information on the upcoming Elden Ring Nightreign. It is a co-op action survival, which was kind of confusing by that first trailer. The ring closes over 3 days. You start as a level 1 character. You can choose to stay together or split up. You can focus on leveling or finding items, maybe both. You might find more items, of course, if you split up, but things are going to be more dangerous. There'll be more setbacks, and you maybe won't level as much. There is varieties in the maps, the spawn points. There are sometimes sudden boss attacks, mini bosses in this case. Areas might randomly have rot in them or be aspected in different ways. So while a map may be similar to another, there may be corruption or a different sort of weather effect in that area.
That's really cool.
As the ring closes, that's when you fight the final boss. So this is your Apex Legends, your Fortnite kind of ring. That is the night encroaching in the lore, and eventually you're locked into a small area after these 3 days, and you must fight whatever the final boss is. There's a good chance if you suck during the 3 days, you will die to the final boss, and that'll be it for your run.
This sounds like so much fun.
Honestly, I think it sounds pretty great, and the number of assets that you're able to pull from in order to make the bosses is really cute. Like already in the end, we saw several famous boys, several new boys as well, like giant face sideways beast. But there's also what I know as chicken tendies, because that's what Kristen called him for the 2 weeks she worked on him. I believe he is the Lightning King or something along those lines. They just have a beautiful arsenal of bosses to pull from and amp up for this final attack on your characters. And in addition to this, the Nameless King, thank you, in chat. In addition to this, you have the round table, which is where you are between runs, where you collect relics, spend your currency you may have earned, and this is where you're going to be able to bring some sort of edge to your future runs. So you may augment your wizard to do more fire damage. So when you're on your adventure, you would favor finding more fire spells in that case. It might fundamentally change your whirlwind power on your guardian to do a different aspect or a different type of damage, and the boss you find in your run might be weak to a certain kind of damage as you discover who it is you're going to be fighting in the end. So going to collect certain items that you know are on the map but you're not sure where, because those items will be randomly placed in chests. The same item won't always be in the same chest. You also have glamours, which is a pretty obvious place for them to sell and make some good money. But in the trailer, they show several characters which are quite popular for people to dress up as a sort of glamour option there. And there's going to be what's called Fragments of the Lost, which is bits of story, and those are going to give you quests for that character in the world. So you may take a bit of a risk while you're in your co-op 3-player. Let's spread out, go get levels, being like, oh wait, I can advance my personal story a little bit.
That's the first time I'm hearing of that.
If I go find this, this rune or this scroll on the ground.
That is because I'm historically the FromSoft narrative grump on the channel. I find it so subtle that I don't feel a need to get invested.
I can't argue with you because it's entirely optional. And your gameplay enjoyment will not vary too much based on your understanding. Elden Ring also had a big problem with just similar names. You had Mikola and Marika. Both were begetting somebody else who had matching names as well. And so
George R. R. Martin was helping, and it's just fantasy writers, man. It goes all the way back to Sauron and Saruman.
Yeah, you kind of get in the naming groove, and the names kind of end up similar. So in this case, it was harder to follow if you weren't paying attention.
Sorry, go ahead.
I found the Dark Souls, particularly Dark Souls 1, way more interesting because the story was tied to the item. You'd get kind of an item on your way to a boss, and then when you got the boss's item, its description would have more information. So it was more linear in that way and wasn't so overworld based.
Yeah, my only point in bringing up that typically I don't really get invested in the narratives of FromSoft games. This interests me because it's class based, and then having class specific quests, that's cool. I like class quests in pretty much any game that has them.
And it sounds like you'll sort of have a table that you'll go to where you can review all the pieces in a line that you've unlocked and put together. Because every single one of you is this hero, this nameless hero who has forgotten who you are. And by exploring the world, you find out who you were in that previous world. And it's got the door, which I don't personally understand, but Kristen was very excited about, which means it's a big deal. This door being pushed open, this is the gates of Uldum for your World of Warcraft. This is your giant cool door that was left untouched in Elden Ring. So the fact that you're even interacting with it in the Nightreign story kind of makes it a required bit of lore for those wanting to continue the through line.
one of my favorite things that we have done in the last year is F around with seamless co-op in Elden Ring. I've still not beaten Elden Ring. I have now gotten further than I ever have by myself playing with you, and it was a blast. We haven't done one since my birthday stream, but at some point I would like to find more time to get back to it. He says, knowing full well, he says that about a lot of things. But I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited for this. Can we announce the thing?
Oh yeah, I already announced it. You weren't here for that stream.
Oh.
You weren't here for the stream.
Oh no, I was very asleep and sick.
Yes, you were. I was a 2-day lag behind you and getting sick. So I was on stream. Everyone's like, "Hey, have you seen the new Nightreign trail?" And I was like, "I don't know. The first trailer was just looked like a cash grab. I didn't even know if it was PvE or PvP.
Stop it.
It was a mess. It was it should be celebrate when something's crap and then becomes good. That's worth celebrating. At any rate."
Okay, could you make it catchier? Could you just say "I'm sure as shit not" and then move on with your life?
Oh well, yeah. But my problem is I don't like
work on your branding, sir.
I don't get angry about things I don't like anymore. You know, that's my problem because I've got enough things I do like. Anyway,
you definitely get angry, and you definitely got angry about this.
Well, it was disappointing. Anyway, this is the picture on the Clips channel right now. By the way, so what happened was I was on my stream. People said, "Can you react to this trailer?" And I was like, I'm not even gonna know what I'm looking at. Let's go get Kristen. I'll watch the kids for 10 minutes, and Kristen can watch the trailer. So she came in here, watched the trailer, and walked away with a very, very positive reaction. And so we announced that on the 30th.
This thumbnail rules.
Yeah.
Noel, you killed it on this thumbnail.
On the 30th, we are going to be playing 3-player co-op in studio here. It's going to be a blast. Really looking forward to it. Yep, that's going to be our all-day event.
All day. The Fergusons are calling and babysitting for this, y'all. So... want to see more stuff like this? Tune in.
You want to see us get carried by Kristen? It's going to be a blast.
You want to see us get carried by? You want to see 2 idiots get carried by Kristen?
It's going to be delightful.
2 dudes carried by one of their wives. Wait, that makes it sound like we have more than one wife. No, don't misunderstand me again on this podcast.
No, we love monogamy. We love GTA 6.
Big monogamy fans.
Big monogamy fans.
Giant monogamy. Why are you making this entire podcast about monogamy?
Because I thought it was funny. Anyway, they have revealed the various classes. Would you like to hear about them?
Yes, I am actually already aware of them because I am excited enough for this game that I've already done some pre-reading on classes. This is how you know I am legitimately excited is when I Google the classes for a new game.
So we got the Wilder.
Executioner, by the way, or Executor. Executor. Day one Executor. I'm going for that Executor.
Oh, yeah. Executor is just samurai.
Give me that katana.
No, and that looks really good because it looks like they are essentially putting in Sekiro. And I would love it if you played Executor and turned around.
I'm also hearing that there is a Expedition 33 to Sekiro pipeline. Are you aware of this?
No.
It's a bit of a sidebar.
Okay.
People are learning how to parry from Claire Obscure and are then going and owning in Sekiro.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Our own friend Marco is the recipient of this glorious new ability.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, that's like when I started playing Dead Cells last week, and I was like, oh shit, I'm actually better at this. Which then I went and played Hades for a bit and like beat 3 runs in a row. But yeah, sometimes games flow into each other. That's cool.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I struggled with Dead Cells for a while, and then suddenly, like before I knew it, I was just like clearing. Like something just clicked. But anyway,
yeah, and
talk to me about these classes.
That's one of the cool things about these classes. Is a lot of them feel like embodiments of other games. So your Executor Samurai kind of katana wielder that you would know from Elden Ring, it looks like it's going to have a lot of gameplay elements from Sekiro. Your let's jump straight to the Duchess, which is like your stealthy, flippy rogue. This looks very Bloodborne adjacent in the way it plays. And it's going to have more kind of rogue elements than you might have had in Bloodborne, but it's still moving and interacting in their world with that style. The Wilder, which is a melee with grappling hook. You might think of this as like a bounty hunter. Guardian, your shield and polearm with a whirlwind, which is what I expect Kristen to be playing, but we'll see what happens. Iron Eye is your archer with a mark, and these marks look pretty damn cool in the co-op sphere of causing vulnerabilities, letting you do bonus damage. Raider, which is your two-hander, your big two-hander with a counter. So you sort of take a stance, and if you're hit during that time, kind of like Super Smash Bros., you will perform said counter back at the thing that hit you. Recluse, which is your wizard. They kind of made it unclear how the spells are going to be collected, and I haven't seen any addendums to the statement. I don't know if you'll enter with a host of spells, or if when everyone spreads out for items, you will also be spreading out for spells, and maybe in the distance you'll be like, oh shit, that looks like an ice monster. Damn, I better not pick up ice spells for the final boss. I don't know how that's going to work.
Okay.
And that apparently has a vampiric mark. They called it something else in the trailer, but I freaking love vampiric abilities. So you put a debuff.
So like a health steal?
Exactly. The recluse, the wizard, can put a mark on the enemy boss, and every time someone hits it, you all are going to get health back or do other aspects.
I love that kind of shit.
Yeah. So
is that what you're going to play?
I think so. I do struggle with wizard in a lot of these games as the game goes on, but early game it works very well for me.
Because you really like being melee in FromSoft games.
Yes, I prefer that for my own role play. I like the slow, methodical march around every corner with my shield up. For cinematic quality, when we did our co-op Elden Ring stream, I grabbed a melee as well, which I think is just superior because we're both, up in the boss's business. No one's in the back just going like, I'm out of mana. And firing, because you can own those early bosses so quickly with a wizard. I think it'd be a great pick here. And then the one they really haven't talked about is the Revenant, which kind of has like a loot. People are saying it's going to be a summoner, which makes sense because summoning was a big part of Elden Ring.
A loot, so a bard?
Yeah, or it could also be like a bard or buffer, but because it's Revenant and there seems to be this gaping hole of where's all the summons from Elden Ring, it seems like a great place to put that character, and summoners are fun.
I really like them in a lot of games. I mean, I know a lot of Elden Ring fans treat it as a crutch, though, right? Like it's not considered the proper way to play that game.
No, that's gatekeeping. Ultimately,
well, I agree, but I'm not getting. I don't want to get into a debate. I'm simply just kind of talking about how things are.
So most summons suck and are a drain on mana as you get later in the game, but there was one called Mimic Tier, which would create a copy of you. And you could even do cool things like equip an item that would give you increased threat, summon your Mimic Tier, and then de-equip that item, and now you have a tank. Because it's summoned with all your items on you. And that was considered like the you beat it with Mimic Tier kind of joke. The problem is, of course, as the game goes on, a lot of the summons are very, very useful, and the Mimic Tier dies in 5 seconds because it gets poisoned and doesn't know what to do with it, or doesn't know how to avoid poison. So it falls off in time. In this sort of aspect, I bet you the summons would be tied to the various chests, and you have a chance to just suck at the end of the day, right? Just like the wizard. You're going to go in with 1 or 2 basic spells, but if you can't find a good summon, probably if you queue up with a non-summoner, you're not going to find summon spells in there. It won't be like Diablo, where you keep getting items and spells for a class you're not, because what's the point of that in a Fortnite situation?
Gotcha. Okay. All right, cool. I'm properly freaking hyped for this, man. I'm very excited.
It's looking Friday. Really good, and they've done some cool stuff by encasing these classes in games they've already made. Their movement style playing into certain weapon types, it's given them a very unique silhouette. I think one of the big ones here being like you Hawkman, like what the crap? There's a Hawkman. This is all just it's giving you a lot of identity, and I think it's going to be really, really fun. And then hearing, of course, that they're adding these relics, so it has a what would you even say, a roguelite opportunity to it. Just means that each run won't feel wasted.
It's a run-based game, yeah. It seems inspired, like I don't know, like these types of games. I feel like it's easy for them to kind of get crap in the public eye because it's like you're remixing an existing game and existing assets into a semi battle royale style experience, and that can feel very tired. But nothing about what I'm seeing here seems tired or seems like they're just cashing in. It's just like so many people want to just play more Elden Ring. And this is a cool way to give us more Elden Ring with a new spin on it.
Well, and so much of
it looks like there's passion behind it to me.
Now that's one of the big aspects of this new trailer, because you can say, hey, we're reusing all our assets, boo, come up with new material. But when you make it more accessible like this, I think that's one of the real victories. Because much like an MMO, if you say, hey, have you played Elden Ring? Oh, no, that would dominate my life. I don't have that time for that kind of thing. You've got time for a run. You got time for 2 runs. And if that's as far as you take the game, you will have experienced a good part of what the game is.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm thinking for myself, because I'm going to play this now without having beaten Elden Ring. I'm like, is this going to make me better at Elden Ring? And so I could go and actually beat the damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, you will improve, right? That's one of the aspects of Dark Souls games, or even like Dawn Trail, that is kind of insane about today's game design, is they keep building on themselves, and people come to these games and go, why is it so hard? Well, it's the 5th iteration of the thing. But it's sometimes hard to access those earlier iterations. Elden Ring is a victory of a game in terms of its diversity of build, and what they did with their DLC.
It's a beast, man.
What they did with their DLC is fascinating. Like the way they scaled power for that, so that people could access it regardless of how powerful your build was in the other world.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Kanya in chat who says, "What if it made you worse at Elden Ring?"
It could, sometimes it could. Like, comfort can absolutely make you worse. There was a lot of people who really struggled with the DLC because their build in classic Elden Ring was so broken and so powerful that when they got scaled into the DLC and they sucked, they didn't know how to play because they hadn't blocked in 3 years.
Yeah.
They tanked everything to the face because their AC was that high.
Oh, speaking of AC, I was not aware of this connection, Soini, but thank you for the super in chat saying, given that the Armor Core 6 assets are modeled to scale for Elden Ring, there's some hilarious room for gag bosses.
That would be awesome. I mean, obviously, with the world they've set up here and the closing and the Night Lord and all that, they can do whatever the hell they want.
Dude, this is talking about collaborations. This thing is ripe for crossover collaborations. Absolutely ripe. Like if you're just like loading in bosses, just for the next 2 months leading up to the release of the new Jurassic World, a T-Rex may just spawn that you have to fight.
I would have a brief purity issue with it. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. You are. I am a new idiot to this world, and it is hard to have fun conversations with you about From Software.
I'm just saying, like, there's everything kind of hurts the first time. There's like that. That's kind of.
You're saying
weird.
that if they put a Rathalos in Elden Ring Nightreign, you wouldn't start foaming at the mouth?
There would be a brief moment where I would be like, well, there it goes. Now then the doors are wide open and anything can happen. But it would be fun.
I think stuff like that. Here's my take, by the way. Like, I think if you get mad about collaborations, I think it only sucks if you don't play it enough before the collabs hit. Which means I don't think much was lost because you weren't playing it anyway. Because you would have had enough time to enjoy the base game with its own internal theming.
Yeah, and unlock all the stories and all that. Like, I mean, obviously you can run into Chromie time magics messing with your WoW story in some aspects of like, where am I? What's going on?
WoW messes with its own. With WoW, the biggest thing in the way of anyone actually enjoying WoW's story in a linear fashion is WoW itself. It is self-inflicted. That is their problem.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be good for you. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be healthy for the game. I'm being honest that I would experience a brief window of like, oh no, here it comes. That's all.
It's fair. I'm having an honest reaction of I'm just trying to have fun, man.
No, oh yeah, dude, absolutely. But all like sometimes you think you know a guy, and then he dresses up as Helsing, and you're like, I thought you were a realistic war shooter set slightly in the future. What the hell's going on over there? And like, nah, Call of Duty is whatever it wants to be. And you're like, okay, that's cool.
Oh, so you're really excited about Seth Rogen being playable in Call of Duty?
And, well, then, of course,
Call of Duty is a bad example because they have some of the worst implementations of collaborations I have ever seen.
It's sometimes they're weird. Also, like, you know, and to make things modern, like what happened with Diablo, it's no surprise. I'm not shocked.
That Berserk one is really well done, I think.
Yeah,
but it's very well integrated, and I think it totally works for D4.
They did it in their own art style, but the price is just like it is.
That's
it's its own thing. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm strictly talking about the aesthetic fusing, like the aesthetics of collaboration.
Absolutely,
they need to work. They need to match. Fortnite works because they can just Fortniteify anything, and then I go, Palpatine's got an M16. That's ridiculous. But with other games, they actually have to try. The Ninja Turtles collab in Call of Duty goes hard as fuck, by the way. It is nuts because they went for that the 90s movie aesthetic, and it works because Call of Duty is hyper realistic. So I think they absolutely nailed it. But some of their shit over there, some of those Call of Duty skins are the most hideous things I've ever laid eyes upon. So anyway, I'm very excited about this. I can't wait to play it with you. I'm sorry for dragging you. I'm excited. Thank you for playing this game with me. I am very excited.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited too, man. I'm really excited too. I'm happy to be wrong in this case. That was strange. That was a strange time. I feel like I woke up from a dream.
Before we wrap this up, what is your sick? Oh wait, no. First we just need to talk about the cultural experience that has been. Boy, it's really neat to see Claire Obscure 33 or Expedition 33 doing well.
Oh yeah, that's insane. Yeah, that freaking bonkers. Apparently it is here, where's my notes on this? It is #1 in the classical music charts and 13th overall in album charts. It has sold 2 million copies. It's insane. It is absolutely insane what the impact this game is having.
Yeah. And I think we talked about this briefly on one of our streams from Wyoming last week. Like, I hate saying we hear you because game studios do it to us all the time. It's almost always disingenuous, but we do hear you. This is the most requested game for us to play since Final Fantasy 14. We're trying to figure it out. We are like legitimately just trying to figure it out. We don't know what the right call is because we want most people in our community to feel free to watch it. And so if you're still playing it, you're probably not going to feel free to watch it. And so we don't know when is the right time to pull the trigger on this. If it didn't come out in the middle of a bunch of travel for us, we probably would have done like a 5-hour vibe check. Hey, here's what it is. And then found a later date to complete the playthrough. But timing's just been a bit odd with Expedition 33 here for us. It's not a request, it's an obligation. That's kind of how we feel. I'm really excited to play it. And if it seemed like it was a flat line in our community, I would probably just be playing it by myself. But because there does appear to be interest, it does feel like it's one of those Goldilocks zones games where it's something you and I want to play, and it's something our community want to see us play. And that's when we go, okay, hold up. We can't botch the schedule for this. And that means we need to put thought into it, and it needs to be scheduled out so that we know what's expected of us, and you know when you can tune in to see the playthrough. That's it. Like, we try not to take things too seriously because we're trying to have a good time. We're in the business of having a good time here, but we also don't want to let you down. And that's why nothing's happened yet with Expedition 33 here at Grinding Gear.
No, and just from the production side, like even though a lot of you have been supportive for games that we've started in the past, it's always a bit of a vacuum to start streaming and then have I'm so excited you're playing this, I can't watch because of spoilers. And that's like, it's so understandable. So we're trying to figure out like how we can play this. At any rate, it is apparently a darling. I know it's being used a lot in Square Enix's face, which is kind of fun to see. I think I can probably say for you as well, because we both enjoy the turn-based games.
I really do like turn-based. I will say, I don't like real-time mechanics in turn-based games. If I want to play a turn-based game, I want to sit back, relax, and not worry about anything happening in real time.
Have you ever played a Mario, Luigi Brothers in Time kind of?
No,
game?
But I know that I should blame them for this ever happening.
Yeah, so there comes a moment where you're really invested. So you played Final Fantasy X, right? Not all the way through, but it doesn't matter.
No, I got hard stuck on Seymour.
Yeah, so a big part of like that gameplay was you would click Luna, you would say summon the thing again, and then you'd have like a 2-minute break.
Yes.
If at the end of that 2-minute break, the game was like, quick time event, sin, bad game design, nobody wants to play that. Instead, you just clicked the button to summon, and as she puts her staff in the air for the very beginning of that animation, you need to click the button. Like you were just there clicking a button. It's not as interruptive as it might feel when you're thinking about like old games of turn-based.
I want to crack back with sir, I do not need this mansplained. I have played plenty of games like this, and I know how it works.
No, I'm just saying, like, when you're playing one of these games, it feels intuitive and it feels like you're participating more.
I disagree because I play these games, and a lot of times I just wish it would just let me select an attack and move on. I really like Sea of Stars, and it has it, so I can get past it. But a lot of times I do just wish it was a more straightforward turn-based experience.
But I would say like that is... I've played the opener of Sea and Stars, and I didn't care so much about what was going on to participate in that level. The reason why I find this so interesting...
It's not the conversation we're having at all, but okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're
just gonna drive by, do a take on Sea of Stars narrative, and
yeah, I just didn't care that much.
You're going to send the chat.
For what I played. No, for what I played. I'm explaining that I bet a lot of people feel the exact same of you. And that's a big deal. The fact that people aren't complaining about those QuickTime events in their turn-based strategy says to me that they are highly invested about what they're doing. And they're already glued to the screen. That when it says... counter, you're like, oh my god, yes please, I couldn't wait to participate more. And I think that's a huge note in what they're doing right in terms of storytelling to gameplay.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, Foxhound, I'm trying so hard not to try and sell Kyle on Sea of Stars right now. It gets better, I promise. You think
I'm shocked? My world is changed by telling me a long game gets better as it gets deeper. Like, wow, absolutely. How? I've never experienced anything like this.
I just want you to experience consequences. That's all.
You're arguing.
Drive-by story takes beget drive-by reaction.
Sure, I said I had only played the opener. You're not blowing my world here. What I'm saying is that it's important that we could have all been sitting back. I've certainly played games like this. Like there are there's a ton of games where you think it can be more auto battler, that you're going to just set it up and go. And you're like, damn it, Carthonassi, for the 100th time you've gone into melee. Now I got to grab you and drag you back out. And even though you love these kind of games, there are aspects that you become frustrated with. And I haven't seen anybody frustrated with the quick time events of this game.
No.
And granted, it's only 30 hours.
And
like it's pretty short engagement.
And that's why I feel like no risk in admitting that I typically don't enjoy any any type of real-time action in a turn-based combat, because all I'm seeing is glowing reviews of the combat system. I'm seeing people have like never given a shit about turn-based in their life loving it, and the fact again of this, I would call it a micro trend I'm noticing on social media of people being like, I'm gonna go play Sekiro. That's insane to me, because I haven't played Expedition 33 yet. The fact that people are going from what I, as someone from the outside looking in, understand to be a turn-based game, and going, you know what we're going to play next? I'm going to go play a FromSoft game. That is insane. And I was already intrigued. I am even more intrigued now. This game seems like it is properly setting the world on fire, and it's not just because of the community that we find ourselves with, it's a bunch of folks who love Final Fantasy. There's a lot of folks hanging out in our Discord who are predisposed to be interested in a turn-based RPG, but it is so beyond that, man. Like my social media feeds are covered in this, and it's not names I recognize.
I like that my favorite aspect of it was watching people attempt to justify calling it a JRPG. That's my favorite aspect so far. just
fill me in, because I've missed this entire thing. It's not Japanese developed, is it?
No, it's French. So a lot of finally a classic RPG was being had, and this got really heated, which of course is outside my wheelhouse. But we ended up on that stream from Tuesday watching a full video kind of breakdown of what aspects people define as a JRPG.
Wouldn't it be a JRPG?
Yeah, that's the JE for JRPG. Yes. The awesome thing to kind of come out of it is that people are just going, okay, you know what? I give up. It's an RPG with turn-based elements. And a huge swath of gamers are like, thank you. That's all we ever wanted. That's all we ever wanted.
If you are of Western origin, for nearly 3 decades, saying JRPG told you exactly what you needed to know about how the game played. It implied a deep story, probably a long gameplay time, and turn-based combat. But that we live now in a more global society, so I understand the pushback. Well, when I'm talking to you, a lot of times I'll just be like, yeah, JRPG.
Yeah.
Because we know what each other means when we use that term.
No, and ultimately the cool thing about it is that like obviously there is gatekeeping and people trying to one up each other. There's even people on the right side of this being like, actually it's made by French, and like, oh come on, okay, thank you so much for that information.
Well, here's the best joke of the day. Rika in chat saying, no, it's sparkling RPG.
And one of the cool things about it is that a lot of people have just kind of been like, maybe we need to take games on their own merits. We've been doing this for a long time, calling it a Souls-like, for instance. And maybe we are doing the games a disservice by calling it that. We need to be more structured.
You're giving me PTSD as someone who grew up in the punk scene. Like, music genre discussions get exhausting. And I definitely get to a point where I'm like F genre, who gives a shit? Like the music that you like, listen to the music that you like. But at the same time, like when I'm being a realist about it, it helps to have shorthand. It helps to speed conversation along. And 9 times out of 10, that's all someone is trying to do when they use terminology like that. And then when inevitably someone wants to pull the conversation over and have the same debate over and over again about what is and is not a Japanese RPG, like sometimes like that's just getting in the way. That wasn't the point of the conversation in the first place. No one was there to be pedantic, but pedantics showed up anyway.
Sure.
So yeah, it's just, I don't know, language is funny. Like, can we just all agree that language is funny?
No, language is extremely powerful. Like if you've ever been...
Sorry, finish.
I'm just saying, if you've ever been in a deep emotional conversation, you're not fighting, you're just trying to work through how you're feeling with somebody. Sometimes just changing an I to a we completely changes how you feel. And English is known to be a rather accusatory language because we lead with our use of the pronouns. So
You're absolutely correct.
she did this. So it's like in another language that she would be at the very end, and what they did would be the main topic of discussion, and they think about something completely different. No, I agree with you there. Like, I feel like we should have the pop-up from Starship Troopers. It's a turn-based RPG. Would you like to know more? Because at that very instance, they might say, "Whoa, no, not not for me."
Yeah. No, but I think it's all good. To on the complete opposite side, on the mischievous part of me goes, "This is fantastic," because I love calling Avatar an anime and watching extremely updated individuals rage.
I think tactical trolling is always fun. And if you wish to continue to do that, more power to you.
Because you know what I mean? It looks like an anime. It feels like an anime.
Yeah.
Was it made in Japan? No.
Yeah, let me see.
I know that? Yes.
Let me get up the checklist this YouTuber made that we watched on Tuesday, because it was rather interesting. Let me get that up for you here. Just gonna need a moment.
Sure. So I find it amusing. I find it entertaining. And I actually secretly adore these kind of conversations.
Yeah, no,
the only time I get mad is when someone wants to tell me how to have that conversation.
All right, so here was their short list of not only this, by the way.
Wait, who is this? What is this?
This was a video from Backlog Battle that we watched. What is a JRP and why it's time to retire the phrase, as it were. This was a list they made of what people feel the list is, in addition to their own personal feelings. So this isn't just strictly their opinions, as well as kind of culminating everybody's opinions. But to them and the audience, a JRPG is turn-based combat, party-based progression, pre-written characters instead of blank slates, a focus on narrative over player choice, highly stylized visuals, whether it be anime or otherwise, linear or chapter-based structure, and a touch of melodrama, perhaps being the most general thing on the list.
I think that is all goddamn accurate.
Yeah, it's a good list. It's a solid list they made.
I will say, all right, let's have our own little conversation about it right now. These days, when I hear JRPG, I think of it as almost entirely a retro term.
I agree.
Because I think it's dated parenthetical positively. It's a dated term that I think of as like a positive dated term. Like I have a positive association with the term JRPG because it makes me think of a time and a place. It makes me think of like SNES and forward, particularly the period between like SNES and PS2. Because also most people that use the term now are older, like us. We are kind of old now. And so, I think of it as a part of retro culture. And so I really don't think of it any different. So to me, it like you say it and you're more eliciting the vibe of the game these days than the quite literal provenance of the game. We're not necessarily meaning it's quite literally from Japan, but that it elicits the feeling, the vibes, and the gameplay of that golden era of RPGs that predominantly originated from the country of Japan. And I just think that's cool. I think it's cool that like I'm now just kind of being a nerd, but I think it's cool that language evolves. And I honestly, like, not to make it an age thing, but I think it's one of the coolest things about getting older. It does not scare me watching the things I love become history. It excites me. I think it's really neat. And I think, and for me, it's really cool that I suddenly have a unique spin on it because I was there for this stuff. And that's wild to me. And so anyway, I get really excited about this kind of stuff. I think it's very neat and cool.
Carthonassi was licking my lettuce. In fact, one addendum I made to this list as we had a conversation on Tuesday was I included the statement turn-based combat or internal or external clock. but to me, that's still very much based.
Yes, you have played a Persona. Congratulations.
No, Persona's actually quite. I see what you're talking about, like the outside world. No, I'm talking about like is a game on a universal clock where we're taking hidden turns. So the game may be functioning like your global cooldown in any MMO. What if we all shared the same global cooldown? Like you press your button, we're all waiting to.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
12 o'clock 01 at 60 seconds in order to cast that spell. Because a lot of the games advance themselves away from turn-based combat, but still manage to have an internal clock that dictate your actions. And some of these were glorious experiments. Like I love Grandia 2, for instance, because it has a initiative that is being interacted with by everyone on that initiative tracker for when you take your turns.
Huh. So do you have a final? Do you have a way to close the chapter out on Grinding Gears definitive? No one will ever need to have this conversation again. What is a JRPG?
I agree with you that it's just it to us it is a dated positive term. To me, it meant the games I couldn't play because I didn't own a PlayStation. So it was just a big list. It was a big list of all the awesome games that everyone else talked about that I had zero interaction with and didn't until Final Fantasy X and did not until Steam started hosting older games on it. So it is in that way quite dated.
10 blew my mind. I still can't believe I haven't beaten it.
But I hope that
that Christmas, man, that was a good Christmas.
But what I really feel is like it's a glorious, awesome thing that we have these AA developers having standout games. I mean, even the government of France, got up on the podium, was like, and we want to thank Expedition 33 for bringing our country so much money over the last few months.
Dude, I mean, it is clearly of cultural significance.
Yeah.
Like it's like instant classic.
Well, and you also
is the word like,
and also like with manga, like with Korean animations that are being made, like there's a lot of very, very hungry developers, and just like Hollywood, a lot of it is steeped in deep politics now because it's an older profession. It's who you know, who your parents were. And we're finding now in that international economy a way for people to make some truly amazing things that are kind of breaking this mold and pushing things that people said weren't popular, like turn-based, like Baldur's Gate 3, something that people continually felt like wasn't going to be worth the AAA time. And now they have a way to share that and make those products. It's amazing. Can someone please make a strategy game now? We've done 2 turn-based games, Baldur's Gate 3 and Expedition 33. You can put a 3 at the end of StarCraft 3 if it makes you feel better. But please, just make a strategy game and remind the AAAs that we want those too. Real-time, strategy, AA. Let's do it. Let's prove them wrong. Let's go back.
Hell yeah. Can't wait to play it. Wish I had something to announce right now. We don't. We have a narrative game project on the horizon. It is not Expedition 33, but it will be in the hopefully not too distant future. Can we say the thing that I want to make happen?
What? Wait.
We don't have on a calendar. Can I?
Oh, I mean, that's just a wish. Yeah, you can share wishes.
We don't know when we're going to do Expedition 33, but we really want to do it before the end of the year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's the goal.
I think in a perfect world, we will have at least played all the Game of Years before the Game of the Year is announced.
Oh my God, that's a huge.
I know. That's why I said in a perfect world.
I want to have beaten Expedition 33 before the Game Awards.
Yeah, I think that's good. I
want to be invested in that. I had so much fun streaming the Game Awards with you last year, and I think it would be exponentially more fun if I'm invested and have the. I want to be I want Expedition 33 to be my dog in that race.
Expeditionally more
And
fun.
I want it to be an informed dog. The metaphor is falling apart, just like my playthrough of Metaphor Fantasio. Before we go, what has your drug-addled brain played?
Oh, nothing. I've been watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX or GDs or whatever.
Well, I just want to warn you before we end here that I went and I believe clicked on every single building in our Satisfactory world.
Oh, cool. Nice.
I wish I had recorded it because the amount of times I went, what the fuck were you thinking?
Wait, me? You made over half those buildings.
You alone in my office. I was just roasting you alone in my office. You have like Mark III conveyor belts on vanes that are outputting 30 per minute.
So I got it done. You know, that there's a reason there's an HR department. Some are doers.
So
some
mad
are
that I didn't
fixers.
record it because it would have I would have asked for your permission before putting it up, but it would have been so funny.
Oh, you care about those sort of things, you know? When are we going to get time to decorate? You know, when are we going to put up some lights? You know, all that stuff happens.
That's why I originally went in. I was like, I just want to decorate. It's the only thing I can think about right now is just like whimsy and satisfactory. So you will notice some major changes the next time you log in.
Okay.
I completed a fairly massive project.
Cool.
But also I have underclocked nearly every single building we have.
Oh, that's not my fault. That was the technology we got rather recently. Yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
The inefficiencies were nuts, and I as to the best of my ability, I swapped out miners and conveyor belts so that they are also efficient.
Nice.
Mostly because that's the thing I learned. I was like, oh, 1 is 60, Mark II is 120, Mark III is whatever. I'm not really Mark IIIing right now. But then I know if I see a Mark I conveyor belt that there's some efficiency down the line, and maybe it's a target for upgrading and that kind of a thing. But I had a lot of fun privately roasting you.
Okay. Well, then you have to say.
But also, I apologize for privately roasting you.
It's okay. It's okay. You know, I take comfort I'm a doer. You know, and I got that done in the first place. No, what I want to roast everyone about is everyone was talking about how Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is all about dueling on motorcycles. What they didn't tell me is that they were riding the Nazda lines at the exact same time, and that's really something special. So worth a watch if you enjoy Ancient Aliens and all that kind of thing. Really, really a special show. No, I played Dredge mostly on the plane and during my travels, and that was delightful. I'm sure many of you are. Or 5Ds. Yeah, 5Ds is what I was watching. Excuse me. I was completely sleepy and sick. But Dredge. Dredge is awesome. You might be sick of or just avoiding something that has Cthulhu-esque, Lovecraftian, cosmic horror. Dredge does it, I don't think subtle is the right word, but they do it in a very fresh way as a fishing game. And the lore of the universe is just questionable enough. And it's not extremely like explosion filled. When you lose for rather simple reasons. And the atmosphere of it, while not being scary, is tense. Other than when a monster breaks your engine, because then you have to putt your way back to the repair center, and that can take way too long, and that's pretty miserable. But overall, Dredge is a really, really fun game. And right now, Tactics Ogre Reborn is currently on sale for 50% off on the Steam, so I'm picking that up today before that sale ends and I forget, because that's my next game.
Heck yeah. Yeah. I'm going to stop saying I want a Steam Deck, because every time I do, someone super's like, here's $5 for it, and then I feel bad for not buying it, but I just ordered $600 worth of hard drives because we're out of space again.
Sure.
So
no,
there went my Steam Deck.
Yeah. No, it's, as chat once said, Steam Deck is BIS for dads. You know, so if you're a parental unit of any kind out there, being able to whip out a quick bit of gaming whenever you can is extremely powerful. And I found that I'm able to play a lot more games, some of which I already owned. on the Steam Deck. Great touchscreen too, by the way, for like Slay the Spire.
Heck yeah. Here's $5 for hard drive. Well, thank you, Joey. Thank you. You absolute chat.
Well, I can hear us both slowing down a little bit as the sickness catches up with us.
Yeah.
So
I'm also getting hungry.
It's time to end this thing.
Which normally I wouldn't mention something so pedestrian, but we are extremely sick and should probably go hydrate, eat food, and lay down. But before that, as always, want to thank our patrons for supporting us. Seriously, thank you much. We had a real heart-to-heart with you 2 hours ago now. But check out supportourbromance.com. It's patreon.com/Garrett and Kyle. That's where it forwards you to our recent patrons, Thalarian and the Wubs. Seriously, now more than ever, really can't thank you enough for going out of your way and signing up. I'll have to thank you on the next one to actually get your names, but I'm seeing that there are multiple new members as we sit here and talk right now. Kyle, the Patreon inbox has a bunch of notifications, and I'm getting a little emotional. Thank you very much. Clearly, you're listening right now, and you went and signed up. And that was not the intention. The intention of the conversation we had at the top of the show was a very earnest thank you. And it remains a very earnest thank you.
Well, that doesn't distract from the fact that we're very excited about the Patreon not pushing through their giant pricing changing, and that we are looking forward to showing you what we're working on. That's still very true as well.
Yeah, but thank you for letting us continue to do this, everybody. We really do mean it. You're joining us live. Rewind like 2 hours. We had a big conversation about what's happening at Patreon, and also reasons why we're very thankful for the support of all of you that do support us. And while we're dishing out those thank yous, let's do it for our legendary level backers. You get thanked every podcast, and we also give you a credit at the end of all of our edited videos. So thank you for the generous support that you give Sean B, Cheesy Bob, Chris K, Lost Mythics, Zervon, Compsci Jedi, Pothy P, Bloodsy Von Snugglegore, Avane, Shinigio, Nicholas C, Tholm, Jerry T, Sean and Jen, Vernacular Ham, Brahm, Basilius. I hope you all enjoyed the deepest voiced thank you I've ever given. Other than that, Kyle and I use Doghouse Systems gaming PCs. If you're in the market for a new gaming rig, check out doghousesystems.com. I have one. Kyle has one. And they make a wonderful product. Use the code BROMANCE. We do have a code over there. You'll get a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD hard drive upgrade for your trouble. And Kyle and I also get supported when you use that code. So check it out, doghousesystems.com. I'm on Twitter celebrating monogamy at Garrett Art. Kyle's at Kyle Ferguson. We're also on Blue Sky.
I'm celebrating offline. It's fine.
We need a proper website for this, but in the meantime, if you heard our story at the top and you're like, wait, you guys also do like videography and contract work? If you want to hire us for contract work, for right now, go to my old personal website, createwithgarrett.com, because there is a contact form on createwithgarrett.com. We're getting close to booked for on-site gigs for this year, which is awesome to say that. It's very cool. But we could probably slot in a couple more. So yeah, if you're looking for videography, college speaking gigs, or video editing, that is something Kyle and I now do together. Very cool, because it's something I've been doing by my lonesome for many, many years, and it's a side effect of Kyle and I working together in person that I did not see. So yeah, check it out. Also, don't look at my old graphic design work. I'm very sensitive about it. You can look at it, just don't talk to me about it.
Okay,
with Garrett.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, y'all. That's going to wrap it up for the longest podcast we've done in a really long time. I'm sure a lot of you are going to tell me go to sleep, but I'll say it was really fun to do this. I missed you all this week a lot. So thanks for letting me get up and feel tired in front of you. GG.
Take care.
Oh,
all right.
Nice.
We got some supers we're going to talk about. Yeah,
we got to thank some people.
We're going to thank some people before we end this here.
I was not expecting to have this many super chats to thank during a podcast today. So thank you. I'm very thankful today. I'm a little emotional because I'm medicated and underslept. So, but that's not to diminish the reality of how thankful I am. I've been doing a lot of thinking about my lot in life. watching people I respect lose their jobs this week. And I really do mean what I said during the podcast, y'all. It means the world to me. You're all the best. GTA 6 is $200. We'll see. I guess we'll see, right? Is that actual news? Oh, I just got checked now. No official price yet. So, all right, cool, wonderful. Queso, I don't know if you're still here. Quesadilla. I get what you did with your name there. Queso space.
Yeah. I see it.
Hey, Garrett intruded me to the saying "bored to tears" while watching a Stormblood stream yesterday. I laughed so hard, my face hurt. Thank you for hurting me. Have you never heard "bored to tears"?
No, I'm glad they can now use it.
I love that phrase. I use that phrase frequently. Yeah, I'm definitely not the originator of it. I have no idea where that comes from, but I love it. I love it. If only I had made it to Shadowbringers yet, where I could have learned the cardinal sin of boring me, which I now use in casual conversation. There's nothing. You don't want to do that. You do not want to commit the cardinal sin of boring me.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
It's a bad time. Lissa supered. Kyle, stop being such a reliable juror.
I'm trying.
It's trying real hard.
The form always says most trials only last 1 day, but I've never seen one that's going to go 1 day in my life.
That is a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is that just supposed to inspire you to go in, even though you'll be held in contempt if you don't?
Yeah. Oni Perfection, thanks for the super. Is the Emmett cell care on purpose, Garrett? Oni, I'm fairly certain you were here on the stream when I was just like, if anyone accuses me of getting an Emmett cell haircut, I will cry. I'm fairly certain you're having a laugh with me. So
you can't do it either. Like I once brought a picture of Rainer from StarCraft in and said I want my haircut like this, and they were pretty furious, the haircutters.
It depends on it sounds like you had a dick as a
no, they were just like, I don't do this kind of thing. And I'm like, you've been showing pictures of people from movies, right? And they're like, yeah, but this is, I'm not doing that. So I just got out a picture of O'Connell from The Mummy and was like, okay, this is essentially the same haircut. Oh yeah, I can do that.
O'Connell?
Brendan Fraser's character.
That is not Rainer's hair, is it?
Nah, it's similar. It's short. It's kind of poofy in the front. I just thought the first thing I couldn't.
Okay, I guess
I kept moving.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. I just learned that that's the same director as Van Helsing, and I feel stupid for not knowing.
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I love that movie. I love Van Helsing. More of that, please. But no, I did not ask. Give me the Emmett. I said I said just get it a little off my shoulders, and the lady butchered me. Is what happened. So, I don't think I told this story on air. After Kyle's extremely wonderful, chill vibes, where he's like, I just went to someone new and it worked out. You know, I really needed a haircut before we got on a plane, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to be so uptight about this. The usual lady I go to is booked. I'm just going to let someone new cut my hair. It worked for Kyle. And it's not your fault, Kyle, but it's entirely your fault.
Oh, well, yeah, I do feel like sorry, I'm distracted here by chat.
What is happening with your Sweeney?
I'm not sure.
Should you check your Steam?
I don't know why I should check my Steam. What's going on?
Too slow, Kyle?
Too slow. I don't know. What's going on? I don't know.
Did you get gifted something?
I'm not sure.
Is there a conversation that I don't remember having?
I don't know. But I did preface with that I moved too much, and so I'm sorry about that.
You moved to? Oh well,
Also,
yeah,
I'm super.
It's starting to hit a length I'm happy with. That's the thing about hair; it eventually grows back.
Well, and also while I was extremely complimentary on the last guy I randomed into, it is already all grown out because it's not as short as I like my 3 months haircut to go. So I got to go back sooner. So if anything, he was completing his live service game on me.
Ooh, 3 months at the length you're at, I think that's a tough ask.
Well, that's why I often get it so short, so I can live linearly for 3 months.
You always tell me you don't like it when it's that short.
I know I don't, but it means I get 3 months out of it.
Oh, Yeah. I'm very particular about how my hair looks. So like I just live with what is a sustainable amount of time in between haircuts. I will say it gets a lot easier when your hair's long. You don't have to go nearly as much. But everything else about your life is a lot more difficult. So Casey, super, to this day, my favorite C.S. Lewis quote is, "When I became a man, I put away childish things, including the fear of childishness and the desire to be very grown up." I have never heard that quote. That's fantastic.
That's a solid quote, for sure.
Oh, yeah, C.S. Lewis. By the way, have you found context for what the hell Drasoini gifted you?
No, nothing. I don't have any pop-ups. Wait, no, hang on. Wait.
Oh, we're just learning that Kyle doesn't know how to Steam.
No, one new gift. Tactics Ogre. Oh, thank you.
Well, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Fine. I accept gift. Thank you. So
That's very sweet.
I found out why I couldn't find Oblivion. Remember when Oblivion Remastered came out, and for the life of me, I could only find the soundtrack on Steam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't find Expedition 33 either, and I was really confused. It's because I went to my store preferences and like nuked it from orbit because I have children, and I was on Steam Deck looking at the store, and it kept showing me, like, I was fine in my office. I'm a grown-ass man. You can show me whatever you want. I'll be okay. But I was on my Steam Deck in the living room, and it kept being like, hey, they're in space doing it. And I'm just like, Steam, please. So I nuked sexual content on Steam.
That'll do it.
Oblivion has apparently, like, I can't think of anything. I don't remember.
Dude, have you seen the booty? Have you seen the booty on the fire elemental?
Yeah, on the fire elemental, like the Daedra walks by and someone's like, someone needs to tag that properly.
That booty, man. Like,
so
don't quit.
Yeah, so I had overduked my Steam too much, and I couldn't see any games.
There's also a necrophilia joke in Oblivion. Oh, I didn't know that. That's messed up.
There's necromancers and stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like as gamers, the PG-13 should be a little strong, a little wider than your normal PG-13.
Yeah. Well, it's just that's the premise Steam, man. Like, because they got full on prawn.
Yeah, they got strep prawn in there.
Yeah, they got prawn.
So I'm all better now. I can see games again. And thank you so much for the Tactics Ogre. I'm going to enjoy that immensely. I really look forward to it.
I'm like, I need to filter for like dismissively real games. Just like show me real games. Just like I don't want to see the prawn. Just keep the prawn stuff out, but traditional games with adult content is fine. I guess I could get it. The lines blur. Like Cyberpunk is pretty steamy.
Sure. Yeah, and you don't want to be treated any differently in those cases. Yeah. And you want maximum exposure.
And like whatever. I'm sure there's some like really awesome adult games being made out there that's, have wonderful narratives, and it's all good. It's all content's content too, but I just don't need to be inundated with it 24/7. Fingleberry, super. Never related to the G-Man more than right now. I always loved when the theaters asked me to help record their live performances because I get to splurge and play with toys I wouldn't otherwise. Yes! That's how I've learned. My contract work is how we know how to do like 3-person camera setups for our MSQ videos and shit. Like how I know how to operate a camera at all is because of doing contract work. So it's one of those things that when I end up, funny enough, going and doing a talk at a college and talking about what I do for a living and how I make it all work, it's usually where the most interest and confusion comes from. Is like, well, so you do like graphic design and videography, but you also do YouTube. Like, how does it all connect? Like, I'm like, it literally could not be more connected. Like, everything I do feeds into each other and informs each other and helps me grow professionally in all of those roles. So yeah, it's awesome. Like I really like it because I don't know. Some people are like, oh, you're doing a college conference. That sounds stuffy and it's not as glamorous as going to like a video game conference. And it's like, I don't know. I always learn something. I always learn something, and to me, that's always fun and exciting. So Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing with that rental gear. Also, oh my god, that tripod! I want that tripod.
Yeah,
We don't really need that tripod.
Yeah, no, there's no need. The footprint alone in our studios would be way too large.
Yeah, I used a smooth glide tripod like ball head for the first time ever. I think it was a Manfrotto, which is if you know camera gear, is a pretty well known tripod brand. And holy shit, we don't ever move our cameras while we're recording, so we have absolutely zero need for it on a regular basis. But oh, it was nice. It was very, very nice. Ben, thanks for 23 months. One final month without my orange GG badge. Just saw Thunderbolts and was confused as to why Elaine from Seinfeld was cosplaying Femme itself.
I've heard good things about that movie. I've heard good things.
I have too, and I'm glad because I really want to go see it because Bucky's my favorite, man. Bucky and Loki, I think, are tied for my favorite MCU characters. I will see anything Bucky is in. I do not care. Love that man. Big Bucky fan. So I'm glad to hear that it's sounds like it's good. Because I didn't love the Scarlett Johansson. What? She's not Scarlet Witch. She's Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson plays Black Widow. I didn't love the Black Widow movie, but I liked the supporting cast. They were really fun. So I want to see Thunderbolts. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Thunderbolts. If my fever breaks, actually it has already broken. If I'm just straight up feeling better, because the doc said I'm not contagious once the fever's gone for 24 hours. If I'm feeling up to it, I think I'm gonna go see Sinners on Saturday.
Nice.
And then after I see Sinners, probably next weekend I'll go see Thunderbolts. I'm really excited. So, our Wojo super. The reality is, anime women are more real than 90% of the women out there today, in my opinion. Wait, what?
Because when I was talking about smelling the anime women, we may have lost the moment.
I think it's going to take too long to. This is. I feel like this is a deep well. This is a deep well.
Yes. Or perhaps a personal well.
They're more real than AI women.
Because
the person was still involved in their creation.
Because anime woman, was created by someone with intent rather than sourced from.
Rather than an amalgamation. They're real to me.
Yeah.
So, hey, Das, what's up? Woodsman, what did I just walk into in this chat? Also, airport is cool inside for the summer.
Nice.
I believe this was during Kyle accusing me of monogamy baiting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you to the real Das for the raid during our stream as well.
Oh, sick. Thank you. Thank you much. And Das is next up in line here with 34 months. I'm winning. Springtrap and Dead by Daylight, and Matthew Lillard is voicing the legendary skin for Springtrap. Well, there you go. I know you're hyped for this, dude. I'm glad it is living up to your expectations.
You're winning all the time, apparently.
I'm trying to think of the last time you were bummed about something in a game.
Congrats on your nonstop victories and being a Dead by Daylight fan.
There's an old... get myself in trouble. Because we spent a lot today talking about how I enjoy romance, and for a hot second it was misconstrued as me enjoying straight romance. And I'm just like, nah, man, I just love romance. It don't matter.
Okay.
It don't matter what it is. There's an old Greg Giraldo joke from the late 90s when there was a lot of hubbub about gay marriage. That I still to this day laugh anytime it comes up, which is very rarely, but Katie and I grew up enjoying the same comedians, so she'll invoke Greg Giraldo every once in a while. Where he goes, his bit was, I don't get why everyone's so mad about gay people wanting to get married. We should force them to get married. I want them to be just as miserable as the rest of us, because frankly, I'm a little sick of their happy-go-lucky lifestyles.
Yeah.
I just laugh so much every time I hear that. And DOS, that's how I feel about Dead by Daylight fans. You know, I'm just waiting for something to miss because, frankly, I'm a little sick of your happy-go-lucky lifestyle.
Yeah, damn.
You're just like, it's just the hits over and over again. Meanwhile, I'm here having to defend my enjoyment of Final Fantasy XIV from people who have made it their life's mission to remind me that it's not as good as Shadowbringers every time I take a step.
Looks like DOS also gets The Witcher 3 coming in too.
If Dead by Daylight could just stop
winning,
stop being a banger,
making everyone look bad over
here, I'd
here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, but Elden Ring, don't win too hard. All right, that's what I'm saying. Just
don't
win at your own pace.
Yeah.
Complete your lore first, and then you can go about winning.
That's Kyle's request. I do whatever you want with your lore because I don't care about your lore. I like your game. Yeah.
Just they're gonna open that big white door. Kristen's gonna be so stoked, and there's just gonna be marvels behind it. Shit.
Thanks for the super DOS. Witcher 3 is coming next chapter. Double A seems to be The Walking Dead.
Yeah, see, just can't stop winning.
Oh, well, I would say The Walking Dead is not winning. Like, I think it works well
for their game.
Just enough fans left for them to keep making Walking Dead stuff. Because I don't meet Walking Dead fans. It's the Nickelback of horror media at this point. It's like, clearly,
I don't think
someone gives a shit, but I never meet anyone that gives a shit.
They're probably just in the wrong ecosystem.
God, I was so into Walking Dead, and I could be paid to care, but I'd have to be paid a lot to care.
Yeah, but if you take everything you just said and put Star Wars and it came out of my mouth, it would confuse you. So I think you're just in the wrong ecosystem.
But you actually meet people who like Star Wars.
No, that's true. But that's because of you. So we don't have a Walking Dead friend in some special corner of our lives.
We have friends that are not me that are also Star Wars trash.
No, but I'm saying like you gravitate them towards you. So I think we just don't walk in the Walking Dead circles enough to know who's loving this. Or maybe it is just a Disney live action situation where who asked for this? No one. We're keeping going.
Well, you can at least pull the box office for those live action films.
Yeah.
And up until very recently, you went, okay, I get why they keep making it. Because it makes money. That live action Lilo and Stitch looks like hot shit, by the way.
Yeah, that's
it looks bad.
They need to do the Sonic rewind on that. He does not look right.
It's just, they just need to stop. The best Lilo and Stitch already exists. Like, just stop. Also, oh my God, the live action How to Train Your Dragon looks like a fan film.
Yeah.
I will give it the compliment of saying fan film and not AI, because it doesn't look AI. It looks like someone made it.
No, I think those scenes will last more than 8 seconds. I think it was handmade. But
like, Jesus, it is a shot-for-shot remake. That movie already exists. Gerard Butler is already that character.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
What are we doing? Why? Anyway, sorry. Thank it, Supers. Savas. Super, only do GTA Online. Oh, right. This is the warning about only playing on console because PC is
heavy. That sucks, but I believe it. I believe it 100%.
You can do a private server though, can't you?
I'm sure you could. Yeah.
So can we fire up a GTA 5 online server and just be like, yo, don't be dicks. But
as long as we have admin controls, yeah.
I would say that's a project for some time between now and May 26th of next year. You know, I'd like to dip my toe in the GTA 5 online before GTA 6 drops. Christopher Clayton supered. Hildy has a sneaky refuses to die ability. Yeah, Kyle was showing the Hildy card.
I also just love adventure as a mechanic, and I'm happy to see it coming in the set.
Yeah. Oh man, Coffee Dog. I am so sorry that we're the people that made you realize that there's a live action Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, the ads have been on a lot of things, so
they at least are doing a cute thing with like a prop Stitch at some movie theaters, scanning your ticket and popping out a popcorn. Like that at least is a delightful advertising campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony. I remember reading this one because it's about why is Graha posing at me like that. Well,
They know what the people want. And they know how to sell.
Clayton Super Makote not being cat human is a flavor loss. I think it is a whimsy increase.
I think it gives you way too much way too much power. Because there are extremely good commander cat decks. And if you added human into that, who knows what could happen.
Yeah. SCJ supered. I can't believe they accurately captured the moment Yuna enchanted herself with freed from the real / Pemin's aura and summoned an infinitely large walking ballista to machine gun down Sin from full HP. I don't even know what half of this is, but I'm glad that they accurately represented it.
Wow. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't know that one.
Dude, I need to play 10 so bad. I'm like dying to play 10. I've been thinking about it so much lately. It might be the number one thing on my wall of shame of like shit I actually started and never beat. We just keep talking about it. It keeps coming up.
Yeah, well, it's the only one I've ever beaten, and so yeah, it's the one I reference often. Though I've heard, I use the Gambler summon a lot, so I think whatever I did offline would have hurt people then too. Way back in the day.
KLG, I saw this coming through in the moment. I appreciate you hoping us that we both feel better soon. Thank you much. Snowbites 21 months said, I haven't been able to make streams much lately, but I have not forgotten about the gang. Hope everyone is having a good Friday. Also, please play Claire Obscure. We hear you.
We hear you. big image. We hear you.
The most respectful, with all the respect as possible. It will happen. Just don't have a date for you yet. Zafoto Ziggy, thanks for 28 freaking months, said I don't know, IDK. Collabs can suck if they charge for the items more than the original game. D4X Berserk. Hey man, that's on them.
That one's just insane. It's like I know I brought it up on the show, which makes it seem like it's a complaint. I'm so outside the ecosystem and I know who their audience is. Like, I don't sit around and complain about how much boats cost. So I feel like I should just get over it. And I'm not playing D4 either, but something about that just kind of hit me in the sads. Seeing the price on the Berserk stuff.
And boats is an interesting thing because it's like you don't have to have it. Like, I don't get mad at the price of Lamborghinis.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so, and it's a weird,
but
it's a weird way to feel.
The price of the Lamborghini is more or less commensurate with what you're getting. Like, it costs a lot of money to build one of those cars, and then there's the added luxury tax, other than there actually being a luxury tax in the United States. There's the added luxury tax of they're built by hand in low quantity. It's a rare good built by actual artisans. A game skin is infinitely repeatable. Doesn't take up physical space. Like some effort was put in by an artist to create it, but once it is created, it is then infinitely replicatable. So charging a lot of money for something like that, I don't think it is actually. And you know what? I now disagree with you, Kyle. With
what?
In the most friendly way possible.
Wait, were you just agreeing with me?
Boats and Ferraris are a terrible analogy.
I know.
There's a reason they cost that much money.
But I'm trying to think of like an environment where I don't care how much it costs because it's already beyond my participation. Like, oh, we just redid the Dodger Stadium Elite decks with brand new couches. How much did they cost? Wow, that's a lot. And the TV in there so you can watch the game that's outside the window anyway. Boy, that's more than I could even consider. Like, I feel like I need to place my brain there. It's an odd and new experience for me.
When we go to Formula Drift, I do have my phone in my hand. So that, because there's downtime from one run to the next. So I watch the replays on my phone as to what just happened, so I can try and get a different angle on it because I am there in person. But I want a second screen because I'm even more invested.
Oh, and you can't, and you get to watch the.
So I get that.
The caster angles and the replays, and then you hear the crowd out the window, so you run over to the window. Like
Yeah.
I can fathom.
Yeah. Having a screen around it for an in-person sporting event is actually kind of dope. Like it's a luxury I never experienced until the advent of smartphones. So anyway, I see where you're coming from, and I think that's why we tend to be more regularly outraged about the cost of DLC goods, because it shouldn't be out of reach. I think most of us have moved on from being horse armor alarmists. I think we accept the existence of microtransactions in games to a certain degree, but when the price gets elevated, that's when we go, hold the fucking phone. This is getting to be a bit much.
And if there's not an activity tied to it, is kind of where I draw my line, because like you have like a Warhammer mini, like that's a hobby. Like how many hours am I about to enjoy with that? Or even like picking up one of the battle passes in like a Magic the Gathering. It's like I love this set. I plan to play a lot over the next month, and I would like that play to turn into rewards. I like that in certain aspects.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right, Midnight Mako. It should not be luxury priced. You know, I don't have a ton of personal experience buying luxury goods, but you know what little experience I have, like that's the thing. Like usually there's a reason for it, but I don't get it. Sleepless One, thanks for the super. Good news for Garrett. You can turn off the attack QTE and accessibility. We're back to Expedition 33 here. Parry and dodge still require button presses though. Okay.
That's interesting.
Cool. I'm gonna try and meet it on its level. I'm gonna try going in as the game wants me to play it. You know, when I do get around to Expedition 33. So, but yeah, while we were in the conversation, I just was like, you know, just for the record, 9 times out of 10 when I'm playing a turn-based game, I want it to be just 100% turn-based, because that's part of the reason I'm showing up for a turn-based game is for maximum relaxation vibes.
Sure. Yeah. And I think too about like Mass Effect 3 doing the jump to Paragon and Renegade choices being like pop-ups, and how pissed I was that I missed the first 2 or so, because I was like, wait, I'm not used to that. But after that, I was glued to my controller. So I'm hoping that the story it's telling feels involved enough that I want to participate in those systems. Otherwise,
fair.
Thanks for the busy work.
I also a little bit, I'm like, nah, F that. Those moments of Mass Effect should have never been timed. I think I fall on that side of that argument.
Yeah,
you can have that argument another day.
I think they're cool. Yeah.
Chris Major super turn-based action RPG and even tab targeting are just the gameplay loop that the narrative is draped over. I think that's fair.
Yeah, and sometimes it services it well and makes it more thrilling, and sometimes you're like, this game would be better with a different system.
Yeah, I don't like it when casual conversations sound so sterile, and that's the only reason I push back. Not because there's a lot of truth to all of this. At a certain point, it's just like, can I just say JRPG to say what I mean and continue on with the conversation? Because the main point of the conversation we're currently having is not the semantics of what the individual words mean. But I get it. Like, I am also a nerd, and I have my things that I just do not let go. So I totally understand. Ferraris said you guys are looking more cool with each passing day.
Thank you for the compliment today of all days. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It's very kind. Artist Mom, hope you do get better soon. Get some sleep. Oh, I will.
It comes easy right now for sure.
I have Formula Drift that I get to watch tonight. I'm gonna lay in bed and watch Formula Drift. I can't wait. FD Atlanta is tomorrow, and we missed qualifying, which was last night. So I haven't spoiled myself, and I'll watch it tonight. It's gonna be good. I was hoping I would rally Kyle, because I was honestly, there's this sick part of my brain that goes, if I'm better, we'll just drive to Atlanta on Friday night. I'll just go watch it in person.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But I do not have it in me.
No.
Every time I've driven to Atlanta, it's been with 2-day notice. I've never planned to drive to Atlanta. And I just kind of enjoy that freedom that I can when I want to. So, Just Swanee, thanks again for
Thank
that.
you for that.
Metallic Super, forgot headphones again. TGIF, hydrate, like the stream, etc. I'm going to go chug a gallon of water after this.
Easy mode.
And Das, thank you for the double supers. The one we didn't read yet reads, if you care on your own time, I sent you the release is coming so you can dip into my life, Garrett. I will look at that at some point, Das. It will not be today because I'm going to go fall asleep. That's what I'm going to go do.
Sounds good.
But dude, I'm so stoked for you. You're so freaking. I could feel your energy through the internet.
Well, you all have an awesome day. Thank you for watching over on Twitch, over at twitch.tv/grinding_gear as well today. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. We will be back on Monday, and you will see the fruits of our labors soon, as we've been talking about today. Let me just, we have a bit of planning to do still about our month of finishing things, but we should have a finishing things stream for you on Wednesday to look forward to as well.
Sarathi, thanks for the super as we're getting out. Just save up your driving to ATL energy for, say, Labor Day weekend. That was the last time I drove to ATL with a 1 day notice. Was the only time I've been to Dragon Con. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Damn. Dragon Con. Y'all have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Take care.
GG, y'all.